5 and 278 WIOD in the Palm Beaches. Other areas may call collect. The opinions expressed by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily those of the station. Now, here's Neil Rogers on News Talk Radio 610 WIOD.
Yeah. Isn't that a great way to come back? I punched it up. It's not queued up. And it still isn't playing. Boy, this is great. What, you got it open? It just keeps stopping.
Call my good friend Neil Rogers. It might not be as bad as everyone thinks.
Oh, man, that was great. What a way to come back, huh? Well, it's interesting to see nothing has changed. 10:06 at WIOD. Got to get this little frog out of my throat and I'll be okay. I got that in Rome.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, do I have stories to tell you about Rome. It is so hot there, and they got no air conditioning. So it would be like if we had no air conditioning here. All you people that tell these stories about Europe, first of all, you don't know what you're talking about, okay? They always say, well, I don't use a lot of soap over there. They don't shower. They don't have a lot of hot water and all this other crap. They could take a shower every 15 minutes, and it would still stink, okay? Because there's almost no air conditioning. And they're all walking around, and they got these schmutters, and they're wiping the perspiration off their head and their
kidding.
face. Oh, yeah.
Just
man,
like we would
hot.
be, yeah.
It is
you imagine
hot.
living here with no AC?
Well, that's the same thing. But anyway, I had a great time, and most of it was in Amsterdam, which is an incredible place. The only thing bad about Amsterdam is the food. The food is so bad, man. Everything has no taste.
Well,
They got all these pizza places, and you go in, you order like little personal-sized pizza, which they don't slice up, by the way. Which is okay. I can handle that. And it looks great. And you cut into it, and you taste it, and it's no taste.
Oh,
they
no.
must use no seasoning or anything. In other words, the pizza tastes like the chocolate milk, and it tastes like the soup, and it tastes like the potatoes. Bland. But it's a great place.
No bothersome flavors.
Well, I
That's
guess
good.
they have too much other excitement in other parts of their lives, so they figure the food is just like to stay alive.
Oh.
But, boy, talking about stay alive, if you ever go to Europe, I want to tell you something. Don't rent a car. And I didn't, because all the travel books say don't rent a car. And I did not do it, and thank God for that. Man, the way they drive over there, you think the driving is bad here? I don't know how they stay alive. There are like no lanes. They're just all over the road, and they go wherever the hell they want. And in Amsterdam, for every car, there's like 10 bicycles. All these people are on bicycles, and the bicycle drivers are worse than the people in the cars. So they got these little bells, ding, ding, and boy, when you hear that coming, you get the hell out of the way, because they're not going to stop. And the streets, most of them are real narrow, with no sidewalks or very little sidewalks. So you're walking down a street, and you develop a sense of when a car is coming or when a bicycle is coming. You develop like a sixth sense.
Mm-hmm.
And, man, they're like crazy. They just go like a bat out of hell. And in Italy, it's like a free-for-all. My cab ride from the airport to the hotel, which was the worst ride of my life, an hour, okay, 55 minutes. It's 100 degrees like outside. There's no air conditioning in a stinky little cab. The cab driver is wiping his forehead. And he acts like he's about ready to pass out. And he gets into the city, and there are no lanes. There are no rules. And then there are roads where the traffic converges from like 6 different roads, and there's no rule. I mean, just first come, first serve. And they've all got these little tiny subcompact cars. Nobody over there drives a big car. All this crap about big European cars. Maybe out, in the hinterlands where they got highways. But in the cities, they drive all these little tiny subcompact cars. And it's incredible. Anyway, what the hell am I talking about?
Europe.
I don't think I'm going to make it. I know. I mean, as far as getting everything in, I got so much stuff to talk about.
Well, just
I could do
relax.
the whole show about the plane trip back.
Yeah.
9.5 hours from Amsterdam to Orlando. Now, listen, I got a very nice lady who's my travel agent. I've never mentioned it on the air. She's a groupie. I'm sure she's listening now. She's wonderful. I had a great time. I don't want her to get hyper. But she booked me out of Orlando and back to Orlando so I wouldn't have to go through customs in New York. She said, everybody says customs is hell. Customs is nothing anywhere. They look at you, and they said, go ahead. Maybe 1 out of every 4 or 1 out of every 10 people they stop and they check. Even in Italy where they've all got Uzis, go ahead, get lost. Well, where do you think everybody from Amsterdam going to Orlando is going?
I think you can guess. Yeah.
There is a plane full of people with screaming little kids.
Going to see Mickey.
Going to see Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
And I would say like 95% of the people on that plane were from Amsterdam or from Europe. They were not Americans. So they're all tourists. And they're all going to see Mickey Mouse. And they've got these screaming little kids. And sitting next to me on the plane is a woman from Lebanon who's got her little crying, kicking, screaming kid in her lap. You know how they let little kids sit in the parents' lap on a plane now? Which I think ought to be against the law. But they let them sit in their lap. And this kid is kicking me and stepping on me. And I got to find a cart. Just a second now. And, of course, every once in a great while, well, not so much every once in a great while, like every 5 minutes. Oh, I can't find it. I can't believe it. I thought you said you had these all in alphabetical order.
I do.
Oh,
I don't know what you're looking for.
Boy, this is a hell lot. I'm looking for that little sound effect that we play all the time. Oh, here it is. Yeah, so like every 5 or 10 minutes, this little kid is sitting on her lap, and there'd be a little bit of a problem. And then he's got a huge bag of stale potato chips. You know what rancid potato chips smell like? Do you know how bad they smell? 9.5 hours I'm sitting next to this mess. And on the other side of me, here's a Dutch couple, and they got their 2 little girls, about 3 and 4 years old. And the one little girl is fine, and the other one is a professional troublemaker. She's got to sit with her head to everybody else's face to the front of the plane. She's got his face to the back, to the row behind her with these 2 little girls, and she's taking their toys away and making them cry and making them scream. And the parents of the other kids are looking at her like they want to kill her. And her parents are like, oh, isn't she cute? 9.5 hours of this. Okay? Don't ever fly from out of the country into Orlando. You'll regret it, okay? They're all going to see Mickey Mouse.
Sure.
Every European little brat, every spoiled little kid, every crying, belching little kid is on it. And then she changes the diapers in the seat, okay? She takes the kid to the bathroom, okay? Which is a good start. And you think if she's going to change his diapers, she'd do it in the bathroom, right? Wrong. I don't know, God only knows what they did in there, but she brings him back to the seat, and we're in the bulkhead, thank God, which gave me a little bit of breathing room, and she takes him down on the floor and pulls the pants down, and these little girls sitting across in the middle section of the plane are looking, oh, what's that, Mommy, what's that? Oh, God, it was incredible. Oh. But I had a great time. And, of course, come back and all these incredible changes going on. Didn't I say they always wait till I go away? Yeah. And you come back and the whole market is like in an uproar. Everything has changed. What do you mean a little?
Well,
3 major changes.
On this band, yeah. Not much on the other band.
Well, there's not much on the other band to begin with. And I got a thing here that Dick Fatherly sent to the station looking for a job. Did you really have him on the air while I was gone? I got a lot to say about some of the people you had on the air while I was gone.
Oh, good.
Anyway, we want to tell you about Toyota of Hollywood right now, and if you're looking for a great deal on a beautiful Toyota, I pulled into the lot this morning, and it's like there are all these Toyotas in this parking lot. Have you noticed that? They're like everywhere. And if you want one of those great Toyotas, the place to get it is Toyota of Hollywood. They're the #1 Toyota dealer in the entire Southeast because they do this gigantic 1016 at WIOD. Let me give a little piece of advice, okay? If you got some money saved up and you want to go on a trip, and a lot of people still haven't gone on vacation.
Right.
Go to Vegas. Go to Hawaii. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Don't go to Europe. I had a great time, but I would never go back. And a lot of people in the audience would say, well, you didn't see Paris and you didn't see it's all the same, okay?
I see.
In fact, when you get back to this country, in spite of all the things that bug me about this country, like you got the TV on there, that wimp that we got for president, and the mindless idiots, it's like on such a different level.
Right.
They live a very austere existence over there compared to the way we live. In fact, in Amsterdam, which is it's a fun place. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a great city. But they dress like from hunger. All the young people wear these like oversized, dirty jeans, that went out of style like 20 years ago, that are 2 sizes too big, that they bought in the Army Navy Eagle store or something like that. And in Italy, they dress from hunger. I mean, of course, there would be no point in putting on good clothing because if you did about an hour, they'd be soaked anyway. It's the only place where you can wash your clothes while you're wearing them. Gives new meaning to the expression wash and wear. I'm serious, man. In the summertime, in August, they close up the whole city.
Yeah, that's right.
Everybody goes away. And even like when I was there in July, and all year long, from like 1 in the afternoon till 4 is like siesta time.
Siesta, that's correct.
And everything closes because I guess that, would be when it's hottest of all. And they try to find somebody with a fan, just to wave a little bit of air around to do something, keep some circulation. I will say this, the food in Italy is great. Outstanding. As opposed to Amsterdam, where, like I said, no taste at all. Nothing has any taste. Zero. In fact, you know where I ate a lot of meals? I hate to admit this. But
yeah.
McDonald's.
Yeah, because
they got a McDonald's and a Burger King right next to each other. McDonald's does about 10 times the business, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, packed. All day packed. And not with Americans either, with Amsterdam people. And that's what I ate. And you know how I feel about some of those places, but boy, at least I knew what I was going to get. At least it had a little bit of taste, In fact, I got a strawberry milkshake, and I just savored it. I drank it real slow because it had some taste to it.
Exactly.
Boy, it is incredible. But anyway, Amsterdam, like I said, is really bizarre. And, of course, you hear all these stories about the houses of prostitution and about the red light district and everything.
Sure do.
I got news for you. If you can't get laid in Amsterdam without going into that area, and there are really 2 of those areas, you got real problems, okay? Because there are like thousands of people milling around all hours. And like the later it gets in the day, the more people there are like walking around. I mean, on every street, walking and walking. In fact, that's the best thing that happened to me is that I didn't rent a car. First, I would have got killed. And secondly, when you walk that much, I didn't gain an ounce. And even though the food wasn't that good, I had several meals, like, 10 meals a day. But you walk forever over there. But these houses of prostitution are like just regular houses with big windows. And they have these big, ugly, big-breasted women sitting inside the windows. And I mean ugly, most of them, very ugly. And they're sitting there like in their underwear. And they smile as you walk by, and they don't do anything. They just smile at you, and they point, like, down here, like, got any ideas? And they're ugly, man. They're horrendous, and they're in the 2 seediest parts of that town, boy. Horrendous places. So if you have any ideas on going over there, that's not the place to find it, okay? You can find anything you want. Every block has got sex shops and live sex shows and sex this and sex that. Those people are just obsessed. They're even doing it while they're on those bicycles, I'm telling you. That's all they think about. Anyway, the plane trip back, like I said, was the longest 9.5 hours of my life with this little kid in this woman's lap, and he keeps kicking me and stepping on my feet. And I just wanted to reach over and strangle him. I don't know. And then you look at your watch, I can't sleep on a plane. I can never sleep on a plane.
Me either.
And I keep looking at my watch, I'm thinking, look at this, only 7 3/4 hours to go now. No, seriously, have you ever had a time like when you thought, I'm just not going to make it? I'm not going to make it. Right. I've got like 7 3/4 hours to go. They're chewing on these stinking potato chips. The kid is doing all kinds of stuff in his pants. And it smells like a toilet in here, like I'm sitting in the latrine, and I got only 7 3/4 hours to go. Oh, man, was that something.
That's a lot of hours.
And on these, I don't want to say which airline, okay? I don't want to get anybody upset on the first day back. But on some of these airlines, they make a big deal out of first class as opposed to the rest of us peons who are sitting in tourist and coach.
Right.
And they call it business class. And they have these curtains that they draw because they're going to feed them first. And they don't want you to see them eating.
That's right.
I guess it's their idea of being genteel or gentile or something. But they don't want you to see that the other people are eating while you're sitting there starving with nothing to do.
Correct.
So they draw these drapes across, and they have these things that they put up in the air so you can't see up in there.
That's right.
And then some of the people who are desperate, they're lined up to go to the John in the back of the plane, and they want to go and use in first class, and they won't let them through there. When the blinds are closed, man, you can't go. They'll let you go on the floor before they will let you go up in there and use the business class, okay? Because it's a big exclusive kind of thing to them. 9.5 hours. The interesting thing in Rome is that you get out like in the middle of the city. And I'm walking down to try to find USA Today. The 2 things that saved me over there were CNN International, which they had in Amsterdam on TV, which is basically the same as what you get here with a few little things thrown in, and USA Today, all over the place, for only 3 guilders, which is like $1.50 for a newspaper. But anyway, in Rome, so I'm walking down about 2 blocks from my hotel to try to find a newspaper that I can read that isn't in Italian. And by the way, if you think if you know Spanish or French, if you think that it's going to help you with Italian, forget it. It is the most bizarre language. I picked up a paper, like I can pick up a paper in Spanish, and I can read it, and understand most of it. I pick up a paper, and I'm reading a story about the racetrack, and the only thing I could understand was the name of the horse, which was Friendly Face. It was the only thing in English, and the name of the driver. I couldn't understand one other word in the entire story. So anyway, I'm walking up the street to get to the newspaper, and here's these guards, these military types standing with Uzi submachine guns in the middle of the street.
God.
And you find that everywhere in Italy. It's all over the place. They don't bother anybody unless you look at them cockeyed and they shoot you. But it's a little bit strange, a little different. Anyway, there are all these changes going on. Let me do a break, and then when we come back, we got so much stuff going on in town. I was at the track yesterday with Bill Calder, and we made a modest deposit, nothing too exciting.
Oh.
Yeah, I know you won on Friday. I don't want to hear about it.
I won on Friday.
I cashed yesterday. I had a couple of perfectas. I had the double, but I just didn't play my cards right. Money management.
That's my problem, too.
We went upstairs. We saw Phil Saltzman.
Great. So did I.
And Bob Harnish. And Dirk Ackerman was up there with his Neil Rogers bumper sticker. And who else was up there? Bernie Dickman.
I'm glad you went up. That's nice.
And Nick Gonzalez. And Freddie Farrell. And Lester Greenshirt, boy, everybody was there. It was
I missed Lester when I was out there. I couldn't find Lester. Yeah, I looked. I couldn't find him.
24 after 10 at WIOD. Music through video has the greatest deal on CDs in South Florida. Nobody has got such a great deal. Music through video is the swap shop for CDs. And this is really a great idea. Instead of going out and wasting a lot of money and building a gigantic, expensive collection. Anyway, so the first thing that happens when I turn on the TV in my room in Amsterdam, the first thing I hear...
You don't come any better than Hank Goldberg.
It was that voice. I wasn't saying that, but, yeah, because they carry that CNN stuff, and all the, like, Crossfire's on there, all the shows, Moneyline.
Larry is international?
Yeah, he's all over the world, like a disease.
Good Lord.
And, in fact, there was a guy, it was in the elevator... which the first hotel I stayed in Amsterdam was so bad. It was so bad. And it was under construction. And the one in Italy was under construction. So on those days when it was 120 degrees and you wanted to stay in because there was air conditioning, you hear... It was kind of like being in here. I felt right at home. It was great. And... but anyway, he was on there, and he did an interview one day with Fred Rogers that was so bad.
Mr. Rogers.
It was incredible. It was unbelievable. Oh, I know what it was. I had my USA Today with the sports section folded out, and I'm going down the elevator in Amsterdam, and there was an American woman, and she's like bending her head to look at something on the sports page. She said, "How did the Cubs do the other day?"
What?
She was from Chicago. Is that okay? She was a Cubs fan.
I knew there had to be a logical explanation.
And the amazing part of it is, of course, I was seeing the scores like a day late over there, and they did great while I was away. Now I've come back, and they've lost every game since I've been back. So I think I'm going to go away again.
Oh, I didn't know.
They don't do well when I'm here.
Yeah.
The Mets, by the way, aren't doing so great either. I don't want to get into a long thing on this today. I'll wait till tomorrow.
Thank God.
But it looked like the Mets are right there tied with the Cubs for second, 3.5 games behind Montreal. Didn't I say Montreal was the team to beat? I think I said that.
I didn't know they were still playing.
Anyway, oh yeah, one other thing about the track, two other things about the track yesterday. We're standing down on the third level, which is like a ritual. Bill Carter and I have got this routine that we go through at the track besides losing. And one of the things that we always do is before the last race, we go down on a level where you get your valet parking thing, which I'll talk about in a minute. Jimmy the Geek is standing there watching the TV, and he's rooting for the two-horse. Well, I got sucked in on this two-horse in the last race also. They were betting it, and it looked like the horse had a little class. And here's Jimmy, of course, who's got the inside scoop, you know, and he's rooting for the two finished so far back. He's at the top of the stretch right now, gasping for oxygen. And even though I had the two, when I realized that Jimmy the Geek had him, I was glad that he was backing up to the stretch.
Yeah.
He's saying, "Come on, at least get second, get something." He got something all right.
It's worth it.
Yeah, it was great. Anyways, so we pull up to the valet parking at Calder yesterday in the Corvette. And I get out, and it's like this icy, cold feeling in the air. You know, like the temperature has just dropped 50 degrees, And all the valet parking kids are standing around. I hear a couple of people saying, oh, that's Neil Rogers, you know, and I thought, boy, I'm going to get lynched right here in the valet parking thing.
Yeah.
So I've changed my whole attitude, not because of being intimidated, but because I realize that most of those kids are honest, okay? Although they got a whole bunch of new, I don't recognize too many faces. I guess you can't be a valet parker forever.
Not a lot of future.
No.
I valet parked Friday. I had no problem.
So anyway, when I left, even though I had a very minor losing day, I lost like $20, which to me, I was out over 100, so I made a big comeback. See? So I figured that's a big winning day, losing $20. So I gave the kid a $5 tip.
Not 50? 5.
No, somebody, I don't want to mention Calder's name because he said on the air this morning I give a $50 tip, okay? $5 tip, and I'm going to start doing that from now on. I'm going to encourage people to give good tips if their car's still in one piece, okay? Like minimum $2. Okay?
Fair.
And like if you have a decent day, if you break, you can give them $5. And if you win a few hundred, give them $10, okay? So I'm changing my whole tune about valet parking because some of them still look pretty good. Anyway, it's 10:31 at WIOD. I want to get into some of these changes that are coming up. We got the book coming out on Wednesday.
Okay.
Boy, is this exciting, huh?
Yeah.
We got food coming every stinking day this week. Denenberg comes in here this morning. And we got food every single day. The man is out of his mind.
Yeah.
We got Pineapples, which is a new sponsor coming in today with natural food.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
We got Arnold's tomorrow with those great cheeseburgers. Pizza Loft on Wednesday. The Spiced Apple on Thursday, which is also new. And Wings Plus on Friday.
What a week.
So we got food coming every day.
Yeah.
So it's a good thing I didn't go crazy and gain any weight. Anyway, we got some big changes in the market. And I know that Ranieri having these big numbers, he's not paranoid about Bill Calder.
No.
Right?
No.
So if I mention that Bill Calder's on QAM in the morning and Bill's a good friend of mine, he's not going to get upset about that because Ranieri's been number one in the morning for years, and as long as he wants to be, he still will be. Right?
I think so. I do. I think so.
Why do you say it like in such an insecure way?
Do I?
You're supposed to say, of course.
He's sounding better than ever to me. Does that sound better? He is, honestly.
You don't say that like you mean it.
I mean it. I do mean it. Better than ever. I wouldn't say it if I didn't mean it.
Okay. No, it's just, I don't disagree with you, but it's just the way you said it sounded so insincere. But anyway, so there's a change at QAM, and of course Dick Fatherly is sending out resumes. I've got one. No, seriously, I got one right here. Boy, I wish I could get this frog out of my throat from that cold.
Yeah.
Luckily, it was not it was just a little head cold, but it basically settled in my throat. Can I say that? And I've been taking all this expectorant and I can't think of the name of the stuff. The horrible tasting stuff.
Is that the name of medicine? Expectorant?
Yeah.
Is that really
good stuff?
Yeah.
Make you spit.
That's a name of something?
To get that phlegm out, you know, and there's just a little bit in there, and it irritates the hell out of me. Yesterday, I couldn't talk too well at all yesterday. I was choked up from being at the track. Anyway, it says a Billboard Personality of the Year, Image Building Specialist, and one of America's best commercial voices. Oh, geez. Now, where's this card?
F.
Is it under F?
Yeah, Fatherly Speaks.
As in something?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
He's an agent provocateur.
Is immediately available to one of South Florida's finest broadcasting properties, Richard W. Fatherly in Margate. So if anybody out there is hiring, Dick Fatherly is available and ready when you are, okay? He's ready to do it.
Okay.
You had him on in here?
For about an hour, yeah.
For what?
Well, it was not my idea.
Whose idea was it?
Sharon. And
wait a minute. Sharon's wonderful, but Sharon has got nothing to do with this show, okay?
So what
nothing to do with this show.
But what I did was we talked about
I mean, I see what Kane's guest is today. She's got enough trouble with that show, okay, without messing around with this one.
Well, what I did with Fatherly is we talked about old QAM FUN, and when he was at FUN, he was mornings at FUN in like the late 60s.
Can't you picture that? Can you see him doing talk-ups?
Oh, man. So we talked about QAM and FUN in the 60s, and everybody seemed to get into that. So that's what
Did they?
I kept him talking about that. Dark helped us out, and I got to play all the old Ricky Ticky air checks and all the old jingles and stuff. So we had a fun time. We fed him, you know. Jeff from Pizza Loft was wonderful.
You're on the cue. WQAM.
Yeah.
56 on the dial, button number 1 in your car. Now with 25 minutes commercial-free music jams. We call them super jams.
Oh.
Throughout the day, every day, with Dave Burgess, Tom Birch, Ron Eric Taylor, Johnny Dolan, and Cedric Hollywood.
Whoa.
Super jams. 25 minutes of commercial-free, uninterrupted music. Exclusively from WQAM, Miami.
10:35 at WID. By the way, I want to say this. Magic, they made a comeback. I don't know what happened, but all weekend I've been listening to them. Their music is great.
Better. I listened to them on the way to work.
What the hell happened over there? Do you think they were listening to us?
Oh.
Music, big improvement. Big improvement.
I don't know if they were listening. I will tell you there's
records that I've heard before that I want to hear again.
A lot of Neelys in that building.
Really?
Yeah. And I listened to them on the way to work this morning. I enjoyed it, and it was good.
Okay, so anyway, we got to do another break. Jeez, I'm not used to this.
You'll get used to it.
We have to do another break, and then we'll come back talk about the big changes. In fact, this could be our last week because we've got some heavy-duty competition. No, seriously. We got some heavy-duty competition coming in, especially at W Snooze, man. WOLD is going
big
through the roof.
Competition.
Yeah. Some stiff competition. And I mean stiff.
Yeah.
That was the name of the horse in the last race last night.
Stiff competition.
The horse that Jimmy the Geek and I bet on.
Stiff
something.
Uh-huh.
I think it was wishful thinking. Oh, and look at this. Steve Kane today, in honor of my return, he has another one of these homosexual shows.
Welcome you back.
Dr. Roy Masters from his ranch in Oregon, by phone, I assume. Or maybe just out the window. Oh, he's going to be in here?
I believe so.
Oh, geez.
I think so.
And Bob Kuntz, who's only making his 82nd appearance this month on the Kane Show, okay? Jeez. And a special guest appearance by atheist John O'Neill. So another real good round of contrived controversy and debate on the Steve Kane Show this afternoon at 2. Boy, is it a pleasure to talk about Wings Plus. We got to wait all the way to... Okay, 20 till 11 at WIOD. I can see we're already starting in where I left off. Mitch from production just came in and turned it down to 40 degrees. No, I don't know what he turned it down to. Just what I need is a little pneumonia.
I'm afraid to look.
I'm just getting rid of this thing, and now, he's going to turn it down to about 32. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, big news in the marketplace. Big news.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even more incredible in the fact that Bill Calder's at 2 a.m. in the morning from 5:30 to 10. I don't want to get Ranieri upset, but like I said, he's not insecure. He's not concerned about that, is he?
I'm not.
I'm sure he's not.
I hope not.
And if he is, I guess he'll let me know tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
He's not concerned about that. We talk about everybody else in the marketplace. We're not paranoid on this station like some others are, okay? Not to mention any names. By the way, I noticed that Zeta's still on the air.
Yes, same.
I got in my car at the airport, and the first thing I did, I turned us on, and Sports Talk was on.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, well, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
Could be any time of the day we're talking sports.
Yeah. Notice.
Oh, that was good. I think the frog just jumped out.
I hope so.
And then I punched on Zeta to see if they were still on the air.
Same old.
And they were playing CCR.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, boy, that's great. I feel comfortable. But anyway, WFTL.
Oh, boy.
Which some of you can pick up on your pop-up toaster.
Not me. I can't pick it up.
Is going head-to-head with WIOD. All talk.
Yeah.
Is this shocking? When does this start, by the way?
It's up at the
starts
top.
July 24th, next Monday.
Mm-hmm.
And W Snooze, of course, I got that out of the... Well, I'd already heard about it because Calder gave me all this inside information. You know how he gets it?
Mm-mm.
Well, part of it, he talks to Lee Fowler all the time.
Oh, my God.
Either that or on the way back, he drove through Palm Beach and he had the window down in his car and he heard Fowler through the window. But here's the big article this morning in the Herald, WNWS revamping its format. You know what this is like? It's like taking a deck of cards and shuffling them and changing them over and over, rearranging the same old tired faces and voices.
Dog-eared cards.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's nothing new. The same old tired crap. Alice, when does this start?
Probably Monday.
Oh, July 31st.
Oh.
So FTL gets the jump. They get the jump next Monday.
So this is
and
2
for
weeks.
both of you out there who can hear FTL, now I'll tell you when FTL is great. When you're driving, is it on 95?
Yep.
Or is it on the turnpike?
No, it's 95 because that's where the stick is. Right.
Well, there's some stick on the turnpike right by the first by State Road 84. Is that that's not Rockin' Big Daddy? That's up in Pompano. It's not FTL. What is that thing? Because we fade out when I'm driving home every day.
Really?
For about an eighth of a mile, there's a spot where everybody else fades, and you go by somebody's tower. It's right at State Road 84. Or is that, maybe that's the FCC monitoring. It's not there anymore. They moved that to Vero.
I don't know.
But there's something there. Do you hear that?
Yeah, of course I hear that.
What is that?
I don't know.
It's like somebody's got a little thing, like a little ball peen hammer, and they're just like noodling around somewhere, just to irritate us, you know?
Yeah.
By the way, you haven't seen Cheryl with my check yet, have you? I just mentioned that in passing because it's almost 11 o'clock. Shouldn't I have 2 checks? Or did they make it into one big check? I don't care how many there are, just as long as it's the right amount, and she gets it in here real soon. She came back, huh?
Mm-hmm.
When did she come back?
Last Monday.
Great. Okay, so the 24th, next Monday, WFTL, Bob Gordon and co-host.
Oh.
But it doesn't say who the co-host is going to be.
Mystery co-host. Mystery sidekick.
Blind Mike?
Excellent guess.
Yeah. I don't want to talk about Blind Mike, okay? Friday, I'm listening to Calder's show. In fact, I must admit, I made a little crank, not a crank call, but a phony voice call.
Mm-hmm.
A little friendly call to Calder. And at the end of the show, his last call was Blind Mike. I turn over to this station. Your first call is Blind Mike.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Now do you understand the meaning of the word chronic?
Busy.
All the people I don't ever want on the air again, this guy puts on the air. Everybody who, just the worst in radio.
That's right.
The worst. And Joey Reynolds was in here.
Yeah.
And Stan Major was in here twice. Once doing a beauty show. Beauty contest?
Swimsuit show.
Oh,
he brought some friends. Yeah. Everybody loved it. I don't know.
He brought some friends. Since when does Stan have any friends? Anyway, Bob Gordon and co-host, 6 to 10 a.m. Lighthearted up. Now, this is the FTL sheet.
Propaganda.
Yeah, this is their propaganda sheet, which is typewritten on a real cheap piece of paper. And it says WFTL Radio 1400 AM. We want to give them all a chance in the world, so we're going to give you the frequency.
Oh.
And if you're in Dade County, you won't hear it.
No, I haven't heard them in years.
If you're in Broward County and you're in certain areas, but especially by the tower.
Yeah.
When you drive
Oakland.
right next to their tower. Oakland, is that it?
I think it's right.
Man, they
Oakland.
boom in.
Yeah,
so if you can find a good parking space, like off to the side of the road, it'll come in great, especially at night. Now, wait till you hear who's going to do nights.
Oh, God.
Wait till you hear who's, you know? You don't know who's going to do night? Oh, wait till Nick hears this. He's going to, I swear to you. Oh, it's Waves. WAVS is the one by the Turnpike.
Oh, is that it?
Is that religion now?
Yeah, I don't. That's another one you can't
It's another
hear.
one doesn't show up in the book.
No.
Anyway, all right, listen to this. Bob Gordon in the morning. It says, lighthearted. Hey, Mitch came back. That's great. Good to see you, Mitch. Lighthearted, upbeat way to start the day with variety and entertainment patter, comedy bits, and the best in MOR adult contemporary music. Okay? What? I'll get to it. It's down there. It's worth waiting for. Trust me.
Yeah.
Trust me.
It is.
Midday. 10 to 2. I don't want to knock because he's a good friend of mine and I'm never going to say anything negative about him. Craig Worthing. So I'm glad that Craig has finally landed something. I'm serious. I don't think he's going to, exactly take our audience away. Do you?
No. I don't think exactly. Yeah.
But he'll do, something. Which is more than FTL has done in years.
Yes.
The only thing I'm a little concerned about is this sheet here, what it says. It says topical talk show.
Oh.
National, international, state, and local issues, including guests with special emphasis on listener phone-in participation.
No kidding. No kidding.
Yeah. Topical talk show. 2 to 6 p.m., Mike Roberts. I have no idea.
No.
You know who that is?
No.
Does anybody know who Mike Roberts is?
Never heard the name.
Nobody ever heard of him, okay? That could be Blind Mike. Has he got a show over there?
Blind Mike Roberts.
Variety and entertainment patter. They're big on patter, man.
Yeah.
A lot of patter.
Yeah. Probably is Blind Mike.
That's what I'm talking about. Nick is just like when I left, okay? In the Twilight Zone. I said, do you know who's going to be on at night? He said no. Now he writes me a note on the screen telling me the name of the person I was talking about.
Nothing has changed.
Shameless. The word for that is shameless. I'll get to that because I'm going to rip him an ass like he's never been ripped in his life. 2 to 6 p.m., Mike Roberts, variety and entertainment patter with light, upbeat information and discussions, comedy bits, occasional interviews, and listener participation, all mixed with your favorite MOR adult contemporary music. What the hell is wrong with that thing? Oh, it's the wrong cut. No, I was going to play... well, they might play that on FTL, wouldn't they?
No.
No?
No. Yeah, here we go. This is...
Yeah, they might play this?
Maybe.
Okay. And then we get to 6 to 7 p.m. Joel Wildman's Money Line.
Oh.
Look out for those money shows, man. They're good for at least a 1 share. Although on FTL, I doubt it. It says, very informative, upbeat business show with listener phone-in participation. They hope.
Mm-hmm.
They hope.
Mm-hmm.
7 to 11 p.m. Hold your socks.
Put your seatbelts on.
Ernie Sochen.
Very interesting. Huh.
Topical talk show. Current and general issues with guest and listener phone-in participation. You must be over the age of 100. Now, I'm glad that Ernie finally, landed something.
Me
because
too.
he's desperate. He believes he belongs on the air, which is... And then, speaking of that, now I want to say that... Oh, Mike Roberts is also the PD at FTL. I never heard of him.
Me either.
Well, it's a big station. From 11 p.m. to 3 a.m.
Here we go.
Now, I want to preface this by saying that this individual is a wonderful attorney, okay? And I'm sure he went to school for many years to learn to become an attorney. He does have some idiosyncrasies, like his obsession with, what is that? Baseball? Rotisserie baseball.
Mm-hmm. I think that...
My question is, when is he going to be a lawyer? No, I'm serious. He's going to be on from 11 at night till 3 in the morning.
He's going to be
Norman Kent.
He's going to be
now,
late.
There's somebody who deserves the blame for creating this, and his name is Kane, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Steve Kane takes all the blame, or at least he should, for Norman Elliott Kent deluding himself into believing that he's a talk show host. See, that's one of the things that pisses me off about this business, is everybody and their brother thinks they can do a talk show. And they go on the air, and it's embarrassing as hell.
No kidding.
Norm is a wonderful guy. He's a brilliant attorney. He's not a talk show host. He's never going to be a talk show host. And whoever, well, I say talked him into it. I'm sure he jumped at it.
Yeah.
But he's got to be in a dream world. What is he thinking about? Do you have any idea?
Good Lord, he's going to work till 3 in the morning.
And do you know what that nighttime signal is at FTL? You can't, even under the tower, you can't pick it up. You have to be inside the transmitter shack to pick it up with a good radio, with a crystal set that only is tuned to 1400. And then you might have trouble. He thinks he's going to get phone calls on that station at night?
What is he going to do?
Norm, all I can say to you, man, it's not too late to change your mind. That's all I'm going to say. Do as you will. I know that you're obsessed, that you got the taste of it. They get a little bit of a taste, and right away they want to do a talk show. Like Ernie.
Yeah.
Ernie was just a nice guy. When I met him, he used to come on and do biorhythms. He used to sell all those gizmos, And all of a sudden, he got a little bit of a taste of it. He wanted to be a talk show host. He's a great guy, Ernie.
Yeah.
But it's like Meg Green. Same kind of deal. Anyway, it's 10:51. What? It's Meg's a nice person, okay? I mean, that show is another story, but she's a very nice lady. 10:51 at WIOD. We got another little thing to do here. Oh, the melting pot. Boy, I've really missed talking about the melting pot because, well, for a couple of reasons. Number one, I love that great fondue. It is so good it just like melts. Well, that must be why they call it the melting pot. Huh?
Oh.
It melts in the fondue pot and it melts in your mouth.
Huh. Yeah.
And when you dip your banana in the chocolate fondue dessert, it just kind of like all melts together. And you go nuts. But the main reason that I really look forward to talking about them again is because I've been really thinking long and hard about the imitators, about the other people that like you to believe. And I'm going to say it again. When you've got something good, you don't have to give it away. In fact, anybody who would think that the melting pot would give away that great chocolate fondue dessert, especially the white chocolate with amaretto, you'd have to be nuts. That's better than sex. That would be like those women in Amsterdam just, having a sign saying it's free today, They're not going to do it. Are you following me so far?
What a metaphorical comparison.
Exactly. So when any restaurant says, hey, we're going to give you they're doing it because they're desperate, okay? Because they're like a third-rate, inferior product. Don't accept any imitators, okay? If you want to waste your money, go right ahead. Be my guest and listen to Steve and go try the other inferior place. If you want the best fondue in the free world, you'll head for one of the 3 melting pot locations tonight or any night. They're open every night, 7 nights a week. They're at 9835 Sunset Drive in South Miami. 3143 Northeast 163rd Street in North Miami Beach, and the infamous, notorious Melting Pot in Coral Springs on West Sample Road just east of Pine Island. Don't forget, don't accept any imitators or fakers. For fantastic fondue, you head for the Melting Pot. I was saying during the break, look at this, 3 to 6 a.m. MOR Adult Contemporary Music Show. That fits right in on FTL. We'll get to W Snooze in a second. Now, I was going to say, in Amsterdam, when I came back the second time from Rome, and I stayed in a great hotel, by the way, the Gold Tulip Barbizon Palace Hotel. Tremendous hotel. It's great, right down by Central Station, in the middle of all the action. And they're like 3 or 4 old houses that have been renovated into this gigantic hotel. And each room has been refurbished with brand new carpeting. And my room was split level. And when you walked in, there was a huge closet and a big bathroom with a phone in the bathroom.
Great.
And you walk down several steps into the main part of the thing with the TV set with remote control and the big bed and the mini bar and the whole bed. It was fantastic. What the hell was I talking about?
Oh, you said you were going to try to get some medicine for your cold.
And there's they have an apothecary.
Yeah.
And they're open, I think, for like 10 minutes a day. They don't have such a thing as a drugstore that we're used to, where you go in and it's almost like a department store and you can get everything. They have beauty shops, I think they call them, and you go in, you get shampoo and shaving cream and things like that in a beauty shop. And you have to walk. I found one on the Dam Rack, which is the big main street that runs through the whole downtown area. And but as far as finding like a regular drugstore, forget it, because the apothecary carries only drugs. Or you can go to the cafes where they carry drugs too, but a different kind. I think that's one of the reasons that they don't care about the food there. They're all stoned out of their minds. They couldn't taste it anyway.
That's what I've heard.
Anyway, speaking of stoned out of their minds, W Snooze revamping its format. It says hopes to fuel competition in talk radio with its new lineup, which includes 2 hours of TV news from WPLG Channel 10. So the thing with 7, I guess, fell through.
It's going to be 10.
And they're going to do a simulcast with Channel 10. Boy, is that pathetic. At 5 p.m.? What? I didn't even know about this part. Simulcasting 1.5 hours of news from 5 to 6:30? A Channel 10 spokesman says the TV station will receive no money from the broadcast. WNWS will broadcast its own advertisements during the TV news. Isn't that a great way to program Afternoon Drive, to simulcast TV news from 5 to 6:30 in the middle of the afternoon?
All their news people must be gone. They must have cleaned out that department.
Woo!
And because they're going to talk in the morning, and that's what they're going to do for news in the afternoon, then all the news people must be gone.
But anyway, this starts the 31st, so I guess a couple of weeks I'm going to just chuck it in because I can't compete with Debbie. I'm just not big enough to compete with Debbie Owens. Once upon a time, I think I was, but since I lost this weight, I just don't think I'm in her league. Anyway, the mornings, Alice Randel. Oh, listen to this. Juan Carlos Cotto sure has a way with words, doesn't he? He says, Al Randel, who hosts a hard afternoon talk program. That's not what I hear, Al. From 2 to 6 p.m. We'll move to morning drive. Well, he's tried just about everything else, okay? Yeah. He failed miserably at midday when I had a 9. He had a 2-something? And then he went in afternoon, and Steve and Stan have both kicked the crap out of him all over the place. And Steve just destroys him now, especially in demographics under the age of 100.
Oh, yeah.
So now he's going morning drive, 6 to 10 a.m., heading up what Dennis Collins calls a blend of news, talk, weather, and sports. Randel will still tackle issues with guests, but the program will be lighter. How could Alice be any lighter than he already is? And have more entertainment value. Is he going to do the show in the air? Alice will do the show in suspended animation, okay? That's how light it's going to be. And Randel will be joined by sidekick Charlie Meadows.
Really?
Charlie Meadows is the most affected sound. He's got that kind of like Ron St. John thing he does in it. Charlie Meadows, currently a news anchor, he's going to be the sidekick.
Great.
Is that an original idea or what?
Where do they come up with it?
Is he going to cackle?
We'll see.
There will be news from Nick Charles, sports from Al Lombardo, and traffic from Dave Slater. The change puts Randel up against current AM morning drive leader Mike Ranieri on WIOD. I'm sure Mike is just peeing in his pants as he listens right now, isn't he?
No question.
Wow. And then when we come back after the news break, we'll go over the rest of this incredible. Like I said, it's like taking an old deck of cards and flipping them around a little bit, like picking them out of a hat, like Tom Birch does the radio. Henry Barrow, ladies and gentlemen. I thought of Henry a lot in Europe, because they don't drink the water. They drink a lot of bottled water and a lot of wine, man. They suck up that wine like it's going out of style. Henry's got the 11 o'clock WIOD news. We'll come back at 11:05, and we'll eventually get to some of your calls when we're good and ready, okay?
WIOD, Miami, Fort Lauderdale. Join us for Yankee baseball action tonight on News Talk Radio 610. WIOD. Depend on it.
Can you imagine the Lee Fowler jokes about Debbie Ellis now?
Oh, God.
Incredible. In fact, I heard they're going to redo Mount Rushmore, and it's between, what's her name, Arlene Ross and Debbie Ellis for the new one. Okay, 13 past 11 at WIOD. We want to tell you about Toyota of Hollywood. We keep telling you that the...
yeah.
Okay, it's 11:15 at WIOD. We're going to miss Bob in Florida, aren't we?
Now, wait a minute. You have a copy of today's... Is that today's log?
Yeah. I get it every day.
Now...
And the log, too.
Now, the entire 11 shows I did, I never had a copy.
Don't you understand?
But
you don't count.
I know. I bitched and moaned on the air like you do.
You don't count.
I didn't get anything.
When are you going to understand that?
Well, I guess it's apparent to me now.
A lot of people have said to me since I've been back, the bird was fine, but he's got a swelled head.
No, I got no... What?
I didn't say that.
I'm just
telling you
head.
what the scuttlebutt in town is, that's all.
I got no swelled head.
And you've got to do something to dispel those rumors.
Well,
you've got to develop a certain degree of humility.
Well, that should prove it right there.
And part of it should be that you don't get a law.
No.
You don't get much of anything.
No. I bitched and moaned like you do.
After some of the people I heard you had on, I think it kind of fits. Anyway, it's 11:16 at WIOD.
Look at
I think,
that.
what?
That
law.
It's a log, I can't get over it. I can't believe
What, that it's got all those spots on there?
No, that you have a copy. I just don't understand.
Because, you can't sell the Neil Rogers show. That's what they say at that other place over there. Are they still on the air at WINZ? Is that still on?
Yeah, they're ripping us. They got promos on. People that were calling last week saying they're ripping us, that we're cackling and making all those bzzz. They run the buzzer.
Isn't that a shame?
Now, I haven't heard it because I don't listen.
I don't want to rub it in, okay? Because the book's coming out Wednesday and they'll probably go even lower. But when the book comes in, then you get to scour.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody's listed except like the Motivation Station, and even they got a couple of parts that they showed up in this last trend. But in midday, in this time slot, the same people who are ripping us, that bitter pill that we swallowed over there, I swallowed it for 5 years almost, and I think I'm still choking on it. That's this frog in my throat. But anyway, they didn't show up in 25 to 54, which is the only demographic that, advertisers really care about, unless they're selling prune juice. They didn't show.
I know.
They didn't make the cut. They had like less than a 0.5 in 25 to 54 midday. 50,000 watts, non-directional. And their FM, which is 100,000 watts, is in the ones. It's in the old spit house. Isn't it?
I think it's in the high ones, isn't it?
Well, I wouldn't get carried away.
Mid. I don't have a swelled head, by the way.
I didn't say you did. I said that the scuttlebutt is that you're just getting a little carried away and you need to be shot down a little bit.
Carried away doing what?
I don't know. I mean, anybody that would put Blind Mike and Paul Harvey Jr. and Brian Epstein on, or whoever the hell, like Barry Epstein.
I didn't put him on.
He wasn't on the phone?
Oh, on the phone.
Every day, I bet.
Yeah. Well,
Ed?
close. Ed.
Oh, and you'll
tradition.
never guess who won a race at Calder yesterday. And we want to congratulate Gwenda Jackson or Michael Jackson, whatever the hell her name is. Her first ride without a whip.
Oh.
The name of the horse is Ed's Hope. Remember that horse?
Of course. It
zoomed out of the gate, led all the way, and won in a desperate drive. And she had no whip. Their first ride, they don't get. I don't know how many rides they go before they get a whip. Probably Phil will call in. It'll give him a good excuse. But she won her first mount.
Oh,
so if she would retire now, she'd retire with a perfect record. One for one.
That's great.
Gwen something. Jackson.
Ed's Hope. You should pay attention. See?
I was thinking about it, but no chance.
Yeah. See, you
paid $24 or something like that.
You just don't get it.
Okay, it's 11:19. We've covered the changes at W Snooze, which I find to be just appalling, and I think going to be one of the biggest jokes in history.
Hilarious.
Alice in the morning?
Oh.
Can you imagine
no.
waking up to that whining sound?
No. I won't, as a matter of fact. Guarantee you.
But Juan Carlos Cotto, got to have one of the best senses of humor.
Yeah.
When he says Alice hosts a hard afternoon
I like
program.
That one.
There hasn't been anything hard on that program since the day that Alice had Jerry Butler on the phone, the porno guy. I think that day could have been an exception.
Mm-hmm.
So we got the Channel 10 news on. Oh God, Dennis, you've really done it, baby. You really know how to do it. And of course, now what time does the book come out Wednesday?
I don't know.
Do we know?
I don't know.
Is somebody going to let us know? We'll probably get a little message. Somebody will run in. And also, you know what I'm hearing everywhere, but not this album, but I'm hearing Dion music everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
There's a new video on VH1.
Is there?
From the new single? And the Night Stood Still. It's great. It's
really
wonderful. I played it the other day. I saw it on VH1.
I've been waiting now. Just can't wait now.
Oh, and you'll never guess who they have on tape on Sunday night. Well, you already know on Waxy Sunday night.
Ricky Ticky.
Every Sunday.
Yeah.
And he was doing the most obnoxious talk-ups. He did one yesterday, a Simon & Garfunkel record. What the hell record was it? I don't remember which one it was, but it was the most disgusting. He took a word and he made a 2-syllable word into like 10 syllables. He dragged it out.
Only Ricky Ticky.
Oh, it was disgusting, man.
By the way, the interesting thing on the
Where's
video.
Where's he going to work?
And The Night Stood Still on VH1, it says, you know how it says the name of the artist and the song and the album on the bottom left-hand corner when the video, it says Dion DiMucci.
Does it?
Yeah. Isn't that interesting?
I wonder why that is, because it doesn't say Dion
I know.
DiMucci on his album.
Yeah.
It just says Dion.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we'll find out. He'll call in one of these days, okay?
Good.
Anyway, it's 21 past 11 at WIOD. We might take some calls pretty soon, huh? Now, that guy on 4, is he still there? Hello.
Hello.
Who is this?
This is the animal.
What does that mean?
What does that mean? I don't know. That's what my name is.
The animal?
Uh-huh. Called before you left. Talked to Bird all the time.
Well, that says a lot.
I just want to be the first one to welcome you back.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.
And you've got to stop ripping on Bird. He's doing a great job.
I didn't rip on him at all.
You were ripping on him
oh,
all
here we
these
go.
shows. He did a fantastic job.
All I said is he had a lot of chronic, and he admits this. He knows it because he does it out of spite. He has a lot of people on
every year
that I can't stand. He does it every time I go away.
Of course.
He does it purposely. It's not by accident.
Exactly.
But when you left your show, you left it in good hands. Better than Steve Kane did.
Oh, how did Steve's show go with all those great fill-ins?
Oh, man.
I forgot
terrible.
about that.
Oh, God.
It was awful?
A jerk.
It was terrible?
He was a total jerk, the
Who?
guy that covered for him.
Which guy's that?
The guy talking about terrorists.
Oh, Felipe?
Yeah.
Ah! Listen, that's the day that I left town, okay, on that Thursday. And I'm driving to the airport and I'm listening. You can't understand a word that he said.
I know.
I mean, forget about his obnoxious philosophy, but you can't understand a word that he said.
I know.
He was terrible.
Well, listen, I really appreciate it, Animal. You've been on there a long time.
Yeah, I've been waiting.
You called. I sat down. You were already on hold.
Can I ask you one question?
Whatever it is.
When are the Char Hut squeeze bottles coming in?
Boy, you know, I couldn't have timed this better if my life depended on it. That spot is coming up right now in this break.
Great.
And if you listen carefully, I'm not going to promise you'll figure it out. Do your best.
Play some Dion for your lunch.
Thanks a lot.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, speaking of lunch, we got pineapples coming
Right.
at 11:30 in about 7 minutes.
Good.
So I better do this break. Here's a little thing from the fax machine from Jeff from Pizza Loft. They welcome me back. And here's another thing from Alan somebody that I can't read. I wonder if it's Alan from Cooper City. Did Alan show up on the show?
No. Fascinating. He did.
Bad. And look at this. It says, on her fax, it says, Ed every day makes me puke. I'll go along with that.
That's cute. I like that.
Okay, let me do Charha now. Now listen very carefully. You already know. But boy, doesn't Sharon look cute? She has that Amsterdamish look, although dressed much better than they do. They don't dress that well over there, believe me. They dress so badly over there.
Wonder why.
Poorly. Poorly. Like I said, if you want to go to Europe as a curiosity, and it is fascinating once in a lifetime, do it. But if you want to go... No, I don't want to make it sound like I didn't have a good time, because I had a great time. But I'm just talking about people who are planning a vacation. Go to Hawaii, or go to Vegas, okay, if you want a long plane trip.
Yeah.
Oh, that plane trip. Going over there, it's 8 hours. And it's not that bad. It's long, but it's not that bad. But coming back 9.5 hours and going to Orlando with all those smelly little kids doing all their business and,
I could watch like 5 movies in 9.5 hours.
They showed 2 movies.
Yeah.
And I didn't watch either one of them because there was nothing that I was interested in.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't sleep, and I couldn't read coming back. I just sat there and I just kept looking at my watch.
Watching this.
Look at this. I only got 6 hours and 50 minutes to go. Piece of cake. Oh. Okay, now listen, Charhut, this is all messed up, and of course, now, this is the way I like it, okay? Pineapples was going to be here at 11:30. Now look at that, 11.
Perfect.
And they're bringing the food in right now. Is that great? That's the way we like it.
That's right.
We don't. I mean, I don't want to sound pushy, but we don't like being promised lunch at 11:30 or 11 o'clock, and then have somebody show up at 1:30 or not at all. Remember that one ringer?
How could I forget?
Anyway, listen to this from the fax machine. This is going to get Nick apoplectic. Dear Neil, I've complained to you before about Saturday's Best of shows, and you said you had nothing to do with them. I don't, and I don't want to be connected with them. Okay? So I haven't bothered you about them lately. The past Saturday show, though, was so abysmal, there was no way I could let it go. I was looking forward to hearing the rebroadcast of the Dion show since I was out of town on vacation when it was originally on. But Saturday, during the first hour, they ran part of it. The second hour was a completely different show. Then the third hour, back to Dion.
Right, that's what I heard. I heard the same thing. Someone told me.
Oh, that says, Nick says they play the hours out of order? Figures. That Weekend Crew, man, they are like brain dead, aren't they? Pathetic.
Gone.
It says, it was such an abortion, it could have been a topic on the Kane show. It says, was that Nick Head guy the one responsible for this mess? If so, he should switch careers and become a butcher because he sure butchered the Dion show. What a putz. Well, Alan, I hate to break the news to you, but he wasn't here on running the board, so he's not the one that played it out of order, okay? Speaking of Kane, he was ripping Stan Major mercilessly on Friday.
I didn't
Is
hear
that true? Was Steve ripping the hell out of Stan again on Friday?
Yeah.
For what? See, I don't understand that. There will probably come another little message from Nick. Look at all this food. This is great. Probably see a lot of old friends from around the building in a few minutes. We haven't seen them in a couple of weeks. Now, wasn't it nice of Gail to come in here and she gave me a welcoming home kiss?
I don't even get that.
And she offered to give me another soda or whatever. It was incredible, wasn't it? It says, Stan was ripping Steve when he was on Glenn's show, and Glenn did not stick up for Steve. Is that what it's going to be? Is that true?
I don't say anything. I let those two
This
go.
is like something in the first grade.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No
like
kidding.
little kids.
I don't remember, but I
You
think
don't remember?
I think I just let him go, you know.
He was ripping Steve?
A little. About, I think a little bit. He was ripping everybody.
Not Stan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ripping everybody in town.
Well, Alan, I'm sorry that they did that to you, but I have nothing to do with it. The best of, to me, you know how I feel about the best of shows. They should take those and put them in the time capsule with Larry King's checkbook, okay? It's 11:31 at WIOD. Boy, this looks like it's going to really be great, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I'm trying to get this frog out of my throat. We got some soup here. I don't want to get pushy and start picking it up myself, but I don't want it to get cold. Oh, jeez. Don't forget, if you go to Amsterdam, don't get the pizza. They've got all these pizza places, too, so you think that they know how to make pizza? They haven't got any idea. It has absolutely, positively no taste whatsoever. Are you going to make a mess now? You're starting to rip and tear and pull stuff apart. Why don't you start out with little soup, okay? Why don't you just relax?
I am relaxed.
Everything is under control. Let me put this down. I'm getting the food out, okay? It's a lot more important than talking to these idiots.
This could be a little preview of it.
Debbie.
Yeah, this could be like Debbie's show's going to be.
The Debbie Ellis Show, as Debbie eats this town out of house and home, man. She's going to pack it away, put us to shame. No, that's true. We can't compete.
No, we can't keep up.
And when she brings Larry Kent on to be her sidekick, wow. They're going to have to do the show outside. I don't think there's a building. Even the Orange Bowl would be big enough, would it? All right, let's have some silverware and let's get busy here, okay? The soup looks incredible. Oh, look at that. It's tomato zucchini soup.
Looks great. You love soup. I like soup.
Yeah. Yeah, they were going to get Lucy Cooper to do recipes on the air while they ate. Wouldn't that be good?
That Lucy.
Oh, Lucy. You're so wonderful, Lucy. Lucy only eats at those real highfalutin restaurants. No matter what restaurant you ask. Oh, I have never eaten there. It's a little too low class for me. Look at this. What is that? Ooh, stuffed shells. Look at this. Boy, they went nuts. And look at that pizza. Do you believe that?
Good.
I mean, it's no Amsterdam, but you can't have everything. Oh, God, this is incredible. Anyway, it's 11:34 at WIOD. We're going to start. Did we take a call? We took the one?
Animal.
That was the only one?
Yeah. It's the only one you've taken.
Thank you so much. This is an incredible spread. It really is. Thank you very much.
This is tasty.
Yeah, let me get some soup.
This is real tasty.
Oh, that's good for my throat, too.
Yeah,
for my
that's
frog.
right. That's right.
Anyway, speaking of good food, let me talk about Trapper's Alley, if I may. I think I saw some people dancing. It all looks good. Anyway, Pineapples has brought lunch today. It's one of our new sponsors. They're at 530 Arthur Godfrey Road, Miami Beach. So they're like right over on the other side, up the road a piece.
Yeah.
Great. And they're open 7 days a week, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. And they have all kinds of natural, great stuff. Boy, we need more of those places in this town, you know? Okay, it's 11:37. What do you got, Sharon?
Looks like they call him Bruce.
Bruce Lassiter. Well, I know some people who've called him Bruce. It says, though folks at Cap City's ABC still refuse to confirm the impending switch to Hot Talk at WLS Chicago, word has leaked that WFLA Tampa afternoon talk host Bruce Lassiter has inked a long-term deal to anchor a major WLS day part. Well, that's Bruce, the best of luck to you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. 22 till noon
Good
at
name for
WIOD.
him.
Yeah,
I like
Bruce
that.
fits him perfectly. In fact, when he comes on here with Debbie Ellis and Larry Kent, can you imagine that? They'd have to rent Joe Robbie Stadium out for that. And Rick Weaver could do the play-by-play of the gigantic eat-off at lunch every day. Wouldn't that be great? Okay, let's take a call or two.
Really?
I don't know. I had something else I was going to do here. Didn't I?
I don't know.
We're eating the food from Pineapples. Mitch has got everything under control. He's already got a plate. Boy, this soup is great. What is this? This is tomato zucchini.
It's wonderful. It's real tasty.
And it's thick. You know what I mean? It's not like water. It's substantial.
Yes.
It's got something to it. Kind of like this show. Oh, by the way, speaking of shows, I want to continue promoting this incredible show that Steve has put together today. Dr. Roy, pardon me for being homophobic masters.
Yeah.
And Bob Kunst, pardon me for being chronic.
Yeah.
And a special guest appearance by atheist John O'Neill, who is rapidly getting into the ranks of the chronic, okay?
Sort of to welcome you back.
And then we got Sonny on Sports Talk tonight. Yankees and the White Sox at 8 o'clock. And that's good. It means no Bush Bing Bang, so that's always a good night. Okay, 11:39. Let's take a call from Pembroke Pines. Hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
I've compiled a list of things Glenn did while you were gone. If you'd like to hear what happened.
Now, this isn't going to be one of these sour grapes tattletale calls, is it?
No, I'm just going to set the record straight.
Okay.
First, don't let him blame Stan Major for the swimsuit show. That was not Stan's friends that Stan brought along. That was a thing
It
that
is a
Glenn...
tattletale, one of these. That's
Is it?
what it is. Yeah.
Go ahead, sir. I like it.
The girls from the swimsuit store called Glenn up himself and said they wanted to come in and model some suits for him.
Yep.
And he dragged Stan into it as an afterthought, so it wasn't Stan's friends that Stan brought along.
Boy, what a version.
Well, what's the true version?
The true version.
See, ordinarily, I don't like this kind of stuff.
I know.
It's juvenile
You don't
and
know
childish.
normally.
But we do a juvenile childish show anyway.
We don't
Thank you so
normally
much.
allow these people to...
Well, we will this time.
Okay.
Well, wait a minute.
Well,
so
wait,
what's the real
sir.
story?
Do you have a complaint about this show, sir?
Well, you're blaming everything that you did on other people. You're blaming
Well,
Sharon.
he learned that from me.
Now, did you like the show?
Well,
huh?
Did you tell him who else was in the
Did
studio?
you like
doing
the show, sir?
Oh, I
Answer
know.
my
Are you gonna say
question,
about Blind
sir.
Mike?
Yeah.
I know he had Blind Mike in here. I'll never forgive him for that.
A sadist inviting a blind man to
Answer
the swimsuit
my
show.
question, sir.
Excuse me?
Answer my question.
Will you just calm down?
Why won't he answer my question?
Because he doesn't know what it is. Because you're apoplectic. Will you just relax?
What's the question?
What's the question?
How was the show?
Boring.
Okay.
2 hours of listening to Glenn going, abubba, 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 and Stan going, yeah,
Interesting,
okay,
you
turn
stayed
around.
tuned for the entire 2 hours. That's fascinating to me. It was so boring.
He's a loyal listener.
Why didn't you go somewhere else?
I just out of loyalty to Neil, I couldn't change the dial.
I see.
Likely story. Okay, what's the next deal?
Okay, he's invented a new chronic. The bastard lady. She called up every day. You're a bastard.
She calls on the air now?
On every day you were gone.
Well, that's the struggling lady.
No, this is a younger girl who imitates her. She's a new chronic.
Oh, so just a joke?
And yeah, she was counting down till Neil got back because I know once he's back I'll never get on the air again. Glenn.
That's for damn sure.
Fascinating. This guy listened to every minute of every show.
Leave him alone, will you? He's a good guy.
I've compiled the list here.
Go ahead.
Okay, Fatherly was on.
What a life.
Well, we're eating, aren't we?
Fatherly
this is
was
a good
on
way to kill some good time.
Fatherly was on for about half the show, not just one. Well, maybe an hour.
It was an hour.
It just seemed like half the show.
It seemed like the whole show, actually.
Was not. And that was not my idea. That was Sharon's idea, no matter what you say, sir.
Well, I don't know whose idea Fatherly was, but I know
What did I just
big
say?
promotion.
What were the words that just came out of my mouth?
Glenn, I can't trust you.
All right, continuing along. If we argue over each point on this, we'll be here. What is that?
Well, you can hang up on this guy anytime.
I'm not hanging up on him, okay? I'll hang up on him when I'm good and ready to hang up on him. The guy was right. Your head is getting swelled. He's telling me when to hang up on people. What is that?
Like a quesadilla.
Oh, that sounds good to me. I'll have a little bit of, everything. Go ahead, sir.
Okay.
You're really on a roll now. Go on.
Okay.
What a life this guy has.
Ed was the first call every day.
No, he wasn't, because I heard Friday and Blind Mike was before Ed.
Okay, maybe the
Even
last
worse.
But this guy, Ed, was like the guest chronic Hall of Fame while you were gone. He had to be, the first one on the line every day.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. You were tuned in every day at 10:05.
Right at the beginning.
Fascinating. Wouldn't miss it, man.
And all these people crying about, oh, Neil's coming back, we'll never be on the air again. And Glenn kept promising him, don't worry, he's leaving in August.
That's right, another week.
And you can all be back on the air again for another week while he's gone. And they were saying, oh, Glenn, we love you so much for giving us a chance to be on the air.
Yeah. Is that it?
That's it, Neil.
Great job, pal.
Thank you. I'll give you a call when you get back in August and let you know what happens.
What a life this guy has.
See ya.
I'm really
Bye.
impressed. I must say.
It was good. That's my favorite call of the day so far. 11:43 at WIOD. Let's go to Manny from Kendall is on the line. How you doing, Manny?
Neil, how you doing?
Great.
Yeah, you never have chronics on when you're here.
That's right.
Welcome back, Neil.
Manny's not chronic. He's just sick. Right?
Well, kind of. I guess if you define sick. Depends how you define it. I'm just glad to hear you back.
Well, thank you so much, Manny.
But listen, don't listen to that last guy. I know that you know that Glenn does a great job when you're away.
Look, I'm so glad I didn't take any calls for an hour and a half because I don't want to spend a whole week here. Didn't I say before I went away I don't want to hear this?
Well, I know. But
I'm
just
always
saying, you listen to
confident
that
he does
last
a
guy.
fine job. I think that was a joke. We're busy eating, okay?
I know that, Neil. Relax.
If I didn't think he did a great job when I went away, I'd have somebody else fill in, like Ellis Rubin or somebody,
Meg Green.
Meg Green.
Glenn, can I ask you
Dick
something?
Fatherly.
Yeah.
Was that a shot when you first put me on the air? I'm glad you don't have any chronics on when you're here. After he said my name.
No, he's mellowed out on that one now. He really meant it as a shot, but since you said something nice about him, he changed his mind.
Well, I never say anything bad about him.
Well,
Ever. And he
never
knows
too
it.
late to start, sir.
Well, I'm going to say one nice thing, and then I'm going to go, Neil, welcome back.
Yeah.
Dog lady, I love you. And Glenn, butch up.
Okay, Manny.
See you later, Neil.
Bye.
Now, was that a
Have a
shot
great
at
call.
the end of the...
I don't know. Don't worry about them, okay? They're just more idiotic, insipid calls. In fact, what happened to all those carts we had?
They're there, under jingles.
Under insipid calls?
Mm-hmm. Another,
Under jingles?
Another third world moron. Not Manny, but the one
Jingles?
before. The one before Manny.
Is this the rack that Blind Mike put together?
Yes, Blind Mike did the
I
rack.
can't believe you had him in this studio. Boy, you are really sick.
I did not give him a mic. I can do anything I want to do when you're not here.
You can?
That's what you always told me.
You can? No, it's true. I don't pay any attention.
That's right.
I didn't think about this place for 1 second.
Exactly. I had him in. I made his life.
Oh, look at this. The food came in, and look who just happened to wander into the building now. No, this is getting ridiculous. He probably could be Debbie Ellis's sidekick. Fat Rich and Fat Debbie in stereo.
He did that to me one day while you were gone. The food came in, and all of a sudden...
Yeah, this shows, he's been doing this a lot lately,
there's
okay?
Fat Rich.
This soup is so good. God, is that good.
Yeah, it really is.
And I need, I think, another spoon. Oh, we still haven't found out what time the numbers are coming out on Wednesday. Have we? Nobody came running in here and said 10:30 or 1 o'clock or anything, okay? So Stan and Steve are feuding a little bit.
A little bit.
Just a little.
Yeah, I tried to get
FTL is going to really do it. They're going full fray. They're jumping head over shoulders right into it. And W Snooze is reshuffling and recycling the same old crap. Thank you so much, Rich. Isn't it interesting that Rich has his own spoon and his own bowl, his own trough as he comes wandering into the studio, okay? Just waited for a little cue, an excuse to come in, and now he's going to go nuts. Too bad there's not more soup. The soup is really great, but there's like about 400 stuffed shells there, which I'm sure will... Okay, 11:51 at WID. This is a quesadilla with cheese and mushrooms. This is incredible.
I got one.
Pineapples? Yeah, they're great. Just pick it up and eat it like a pizza.
Oh, okay.
Boy, is that good. So that's the new format at W Snooze. They're going to eat on the air. Alice is going to be not so hard in the morning, it says. Which I'm sure he can deal with no problem at all. Anyway, it's 11:52. Let's take a call from Ian in Miami. Hello.
Well, hello, Neil.
Oh, jeez.
I did my homework, birds.
Oh, good.
Right.
Tell Neil about it.
Word has it that you had... no, I can't say that. I'll get cut off. But it had something to do with Amsterdam. I'll call you later and talk to you about it.
About what? About what?
Well, you'll cut me off or you'll dump it.
Try it, Ian. Give it a shot. Go for it.
No, don't do it.
No, I'm not going
I'm busy eating. I don't want to mess around with the dump.
Right.
What do you want, Ian? You're chronic.
Well,
You're a pain in the ass.
I just wanted to tell you about the homework that Bird gave me. It comes out of the Star magazine. He told me about it Friday.
Oh, I bet. Is that Roy Masters in there? Oh, I better butch up a little bit for Roy, yeah. Okay, how about this? How you think the Cubs go independent? Better butch up a little bit and get my wrist straightened out, because Roy will get all upset and give me a lecture.
Oh, by the way, I've got to do something while I'm on the air.
In fact, you ought to talk to Roy. He could straighten you out in a hurry.
Believe
I'm not
me.
sure necessarily which way I'm talking about, but he could straighten you
I
out.
could give him some ideas.
I'll bet.
Oh, by the way, hello, Doc Lady.
Okay, get out of here. Make me sick.
Yeah, you know, you're right. You don't have any chronics when you're here. It's just when I'm here.
You don't seem to understand. This is the aftermath. You've built this up. It's going to take me till Friday when you go away. Boy, won't that be something? Friday, the bird leaves on his vacation. He's going to be gone a week in a day.
Yes.
And I can actually come in and talk about whatever the hell I want to talk about.
That's right.
Although by Friday, probably won't want to talk about the Cubs at all anymore. Are they doing it or what? 11:53.
I don't know.
I like the Mets game the other night when Fernandez struck out 16 batters and they lost. That was really the best. Okay, let's try Palm Beach. This should improve the quality of the calls. Hello.
Yeah, how you doing?
See, I told you.
I was listening to your stories this morning about Europe. I really enjoyed the little anecdotes that you've been telling, and I can really relate to them. I pulled a 3-year suicide mission with the military, driving bus in Central Europe.
Wow. Oh, man.
If you can relate to that.
I have never seen any. I'm not exaggerating. Those people are crazy.
I know you're not.
They don't care if they hit you or not. It's just get out of my way and good luck to you.
Our driving test was a vacant lot. We drove in a vacant lot. They said, fine, if you want the job, here. Because they couldn't find people to drive.
I'll bet.
I got a little tip for American tourists that feel compelled to rent a car in Europe.
Oh, don't do it.
Okay?
Don't do it.
The deal is, did you notice in France they have yellow headlights?
I did. I wasn't in France.
Okay. In France they have yellow headlights. And driving at night, this is the only way you can get back at the Europeans if you really get teed off, and that is to rent a car from either Germany or Holland or one of the white headlight countries and drive into France at night. It drives the drivers nuts. They can't take the white headlights. Now, the yellow headlights is a great idea. It's really soft on the eyes. But the minute you drive into the country with white headlights, you watch all the other guys swerving around the roads. And if you have one that stays on the road, that sticks with you, you can always hit your high beams. Now, that gets them.
Well, that's pretty exciting.
Well, when you're driving bus in Europe, what else you got for entertainment?
Yeah, you're right. You got a point.
Okay. Another comment I had was Metro bus driver's test, final exam. Have them rent a car in Paris and drive to Amsterdam. No injuries and no dents, then they pass.
Have you been in Amsterdam?
Yes, sir.
Can you believe that driving?
Well, the best thing to do in Amsterdam is rent a bicycle because bicycles have the right of way.
I took a cab. I didn't realize how close it was, but I took a cab from the central station to my first hotel, which I could have walked, only I was schlepping a big, heavy bag. And this guy, he was going the wrong way on one-way streets. I mean, the streets just go all over the place over there. They're just in every which direction. Is Roy in need of therapy in there? What is his story?
Well, one-way streets, now, the one-way streets means as long as you're going one direction. I mean, as long as you hit the street first. You see, I went down one-way streets the wrong way with a bus with people on it before. But sometimes you have to do this.
And the best thing, like on the Dam Rack, that big wide street, they've got trolley cars, they've got regular cars, and then they got all the bicycles. And I got news for you, man. Crossing the street is an adventure just unbelievable.
Well, the most fun is in France. Of course, you didn't make it to France. Is the traffic circles in France.
Can Roy share some of the food?
Oh.
Well, the food, now, does the food have any smell to it?
Can you believe this? Here is this homophobic right-wing maniac standing in the studio there.
He came in
and he
for
wants
lunch.
to come in for my food.
Right.
Only if I can spit on it first. How's that, Roy?
It's only one of the five.
It's just a joke. Come in, whatever you want. I'm not sure there's anything left. In fact, Fat Rich will put a plate together so you don't have to come in and breathe the air in here, okay?
Great
I don't want him in
idea.
here.
Yeah, good
okay,
idea.
well, listen, it's good talking to you.
Well, I had one question for you.
Sure,
Tim.
what's the question?
In case one of your listeners know or if you know, and that is I have relatives in Europe, and I have a European VHS tape. Okay, now, of course, I'm not able to see that on the American television sets over here. I was wondering if somebody knew where I could get that, or if it's possible to get it converted to an American VHS tape so we can...
Well, I'm sure one of our experts will call in.
Okay.
It'll probably be pretty boring, but I'm sure somebody will call. Have a nice one.
All right, thank you very much.
Okay. 11:57 at WIOD. I'm sure glad we started taking these calls, aren't you?
They've been incredible.
They have been great. Especially Ignatz from Kendall or whatever he's... Oh, man, he's out of control, isn't he?
Which one? There were several out of control.
Whatever that Ian, whatever his name is.
Oh, Ian.
Mm-hmm. Out of control.
Oh, yeah, well,
Too many Mark Grace baseball cards, I think, okay?
Exactly.
Starts affecting your brain. Fort Lauderdale, hello.
Neil.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Really, really missed you. But Bird did do a wonderful job.
I'm sure.
But I have a suggestion for you, Bird. You should do like instead of Best of Neil on Saturdays, you could have like a radio retrospective and just talk about everything that was going on in radio 20 years ago. Because I can't believe what I've learned in the past 11 days about what radio was like down here with Joey Reynolds and Dick Fatherly and Stan and Blind Mike and all these. It was like a museum of radio history.
That's right.
And it was really pretty ponderous, but it was all right. Anna Maria Tomahawk, I think, was your best guest.
She was very nice.
She was a guest?
For a few minutes.
Even though Henry kept...
Is there anybody... This must have been like the Stan Major show. Anybody who was breathing, he dragged in the studio.
It was unbelievable. And
you have no idea the ones I said no to. If you had any clue how many times I said
no. Were Todd and Ross in here at all?
Well, Henry Barrow kept
still
coming
here?
in and saying,
Wait a minute, they're gone?
Are you there? When she was...
Wait just a second, sir. Wait a minute. Todd is history. And what about Ross? He's still here?
I don't know.
Ross is here. Well, half a loaf is better than none. Okay, well, listen, I haven't got any idea what you were talking about, but have a great one, okay?
Well, I just want to say one thing before I hang up, can I?
Yeah.
The day right after you left, I'm sorry it took me so long to get there, but we went to Char Hut, and I had to wait all this time to call you and thank you. It's a great place.
Great.
And Roy Masters, you're a bastard.
Okay.
Bye.
Wow. Who's doing the news? Is it April?
No, April's
Todd
gone.
is here. Todd is right there.
April went to Channel 6 while you were
Oh,
gone.
April's not here. Well, April would be doing the news right now, but I got a lot of catching up to do.
They don't come any better than Hank Goldberg.
Okay, 12:05 at WIOD, and these calls have been just something else.
Yes.
I don't want to say what.
I don't think you can.
And we got
say
some
what.
open lines. I'm not going to give the numbers out. I'm not going to dignify the audience by giving the numbers out.
No, don't.
We haven't done that in a long time, have we?
Didn't give it out in 11 days.
Really?
Never. Never.
Well, I'm sure that those people you had calling in really needed the numbers.
Like I said, well, it's true. You don't have any chronics. It's only me, just like that guy said. Exactly. Thank you.
Okay, let's.
said it better.
Oh, here's a call for you on one. Hello.
Hello?
Yes.
Thank you for getting on. Who is this?
Who are you speaking to?
Can I talk to Neil or to Glenn?
We're both here, ma'am.
Yes?
We're both right here.
Oh, I know you are, honey, but who am I talking to?
Yeah, you're right.
That's what I want.
Moisty Pupik.
Hello?
Yes.
I wanted to talk to you. The one that has that beautiful laugh.
Yes, ma'am. Here I am.
What do you want, ma'am?
What do you want? Spit it out.
Yes, dear, this is me.
This is me, yeah. Well, this is me, too, okay? What? What do you want? Say it.
You're laughing like a hyena every minute. It sounds awful.
Ma'am, can I suggest something to you? Drop dead. Why did we put an old bitch like that on the air? 1207 at WIOD. Like I said,
I didn't have any of that caliber.
Boy, get lost, okay? Let's buy her a gold-plated enema bag. And, well, listen, next week or the week after, she can listen to Debbie Ellis during these hours. She doesn't have to be disturbed by the sound of people laughing, having a good time.
Yeah.
It'll be Debbie Ellis. Oh, boy, is she something else, man. We're going to have a real... And Steve against Sandy, I don't know if he's ready for that.
Man.
Anyway, did you take care of Roy Masters' food? You put something special in it? What a maniac, okay? He asked what? Get him out of here. Some goddamn nerve. Kane's guest come in here 2 hours early, and he wants to suck our food up, okay?
Unheard of.
Yeah. If I handled it, yeah, I put something real special in it for you, okay, Roy?
Oh,
yeah.
Man.
I don't do that for just everybody, but for you, there's a special sample in there, okay, Roy?
Boy.
You asshole. Okay, let's go to Coconut Creek. Hello.
Hi, Neil. Welcome back.
Thank you.
This is Donna from Coconut Creek.
Well, how you doing, Donna?
Oh, pretty good. I always want to distinguish that so you don't hang up on me thinking I'm the other Donna.
No, I know better.
I think she got through with Glenn one day on the lightning round.
On the lightning round one day, yeah, she got
Yeah.
through.
You mean she's still listening?
How about that? What a shocker, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't believe it.
Hey, Glenn, did you tell Neil we don't have to worry at all about Steve listening? We confirmed that?
Oh, yeah, Steve doesn't listen. You know, that's what I learned.
Really?
Yeah, he never listens to this. He was obsessed with Sandy.
Well, how's he going to listen to Sandy when she's on opposite end?
I know.
He'll only hear the first hour.
I don't know what he's going to do, but we did all kinds of things.
Well, you know, this show just isn't up to Steve's caliber. Don't you understand? Steve is into that contrived controversy. He's big on abortion and all that gun control and homophobic lunatics. And he's big into these same 3 or 4 things, and his life revolves around them. We just don't deal with that here, okay? So we don't have anything here that Steve is interested in.
So anyway, what we learned was we can say anything about him we want to.
Really?
He's oblivious. No idea. No clue.
Okay.
So that was a good thing to learn.
Yeah, and Glenn,
I'll keep that in mind.
Glenn, make sure you watch that channel, Movie Time. They've been showing Shag all the time.
Oh, my God. I don't have that on my cable.
Oh, well, maybe I could tape some for you.
That's okay.
Okay, well, that's about it. Welcome back, Neil.
Thank you, Donna.
Glenn, you were great, and we'll be listening here in Coconut Creek.
Okay. See ya.
Bye.
1209 is
Sharon, please. Are you coming in here? I need you to tell something to Uncle Neil.
About what?
About Dick Fatherly. I'll need her to confirm to you.
No, I don't want to hear about Dick Fatherly.
No,
I want to know how come she brought Roy Masters in here to give us dirty looks and to jump up and down waving his limp wrist and then to beg for food. He wanted to meet me.
He came by early because I had to have him drop off some of his books and stuff because the last time he was on, he lost the book.
Tell him that
What
Dick
does that
Fatherly,
have to do with him coming in here?
I'm sorry. I said, would you like to
He's
see
pathetic. He's pathetic. He's tragic.
Whose idea was to have Dick Fatherly on the show?
Oh, isn't he the guy who doesn't have sex with his wife?
No, he's been celibate for
Oh, he's been celibate. Well, after looking at him, I can understand why.
Sharon,
What?
tell Neil whose idea to have Dick Fatherly in here it was.
You know, Glenn came to me and said,
Sharon, tell him, please.
This is so juvenile, man. It's so childish.
We have to...
great. Talking about the old radio days.
He's not great.
No, I didn't say he was. I said it was.
If you missed the Neil Rogers show yesterday on 610 WIOD, you missed this.
Is this the Bird?
Yeah.
Bird, how you doing?
Okay.
Listen, do me a favor, play anything, because I can't stand listening to you. You sound like a douchebag.
Do I?
Just do me a favor, play anything.
Well, can I ask you a question before you go?
Oh, God, you sound so stupid. I hate to talk to you. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, why did you call me? I didn't call you.
No, just to tell you not to say anything. Just play something. Oh, God, can't stand it.
Well, then why are you listening?
Play something already.
Why won't you answer my...
Can't stand it.
You won't... See, he won't talk to me. Oh, we got a car here. Hello? I remember that call.
Yeah. Sounds pretty good.
He'll probably call you today.
I hope so. Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello.
Hi there.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, I'm a long-time listener of your radio station. First time I ever called in.
Really?
I gotta admit that since I've been listening to Neil, I got turned off, but it's the same old story going back to listening to it. I don't know why. And I got to tell you something. You won me over. I'm beginning to love your show, and I want to tell you that Glenn did one hell of a fine job last week.
No question about it. We're going to take a poll in the 1 o'clock hour.
He did a fine job, and I'm beginning to enjoy the station.
Well, great. After it takes about 6 months to 2-3 years,
it didn't take,
and it really starts growing on you.
Didn't take that long.
Kind of like a tumor.
But take care. This is Mark from Kendall.
Okay, Mark.
Signing off.
Okay.
10-4.
See ya. Mark sounded a little depressed, didn't he?
Yes.
Whatever it is. It's all yours,
finished.
okay?
I'm finished, okay?
But Dick Fatherly, why did you do that to me, Sharon? That was so cruel. By the way,
what are you looking at me for?
Here's his resume. You might want to give that to Steve
what are you
next
giving
time
me
he
a
has
look
him
for?
fill in. It's 12 minutes past noon. We want to tell you about... Would you just calm down and relax? Jeez. She's taking 10 pounds of food out of here. Give the bones to Fatherly, by the way. I mean, to Masters. Same difference.
Same difference.
Okay, Toyota of Hollywood is the... Oh, boy, this is great. This frozen yogurt from pineapples, which I didn't mention because Denenberg had the copy, that they do feature delicious Colombo Light, no-fat frozen yogurt with no cholesterol, only 95 calories in a 4-ounce serving. So it kind of like fits right in there, doesn't it? It does? Well, no, because we're eating... Oh, you haven't had any. Would you like some?
No, I'll pass today. I'm just in shock over that log. I'm sorry. It'll take me a minute to... You believe he has a log? Incredible. I never saw one of those when I was here.
Yeah, that's what Roy Masters said, too. It's 12:16 at WIOD, and here's a call from Boca. Hello.
Let's go to the call on Ronnie Zamora. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, can I help you?
Yes, I just recently tuned in. What did you say your name was?
Tell him your name, Derry. Barry.
No, not your name, the other gentleman.
This is F. Lee Bailey. We're on with F. Lee Bailey.
I'm being totally serious now. What is your name?
Ellis Rubin.
Okay, 12:17 at WIOD, boy. We'll talk about an oldie but goodie. Or was that...
While Kane was out on vacation.
Oh, while he was on vacation. Oh, I should have let it go because it was from this station. I thought he was playing something from a long time ago from like KAT or something.
Last week.
Ellis Rubin was on?
You betcha.
Boy, that's unusual.
Isn't it?
See, I don't understand what is with you people. But this chronic thing, it's not a joke. It's like a death knell. It's like a death wish. Chronic, man. Chronic. And I've let 2 or 3 go here today who won't be on again for months. Like Ian. Trust me. Chronic. And even, who was the other one? Oh, I don't want to say it. He's very sensitive. Manny and Kendall. He's a good guy, but he's gone a little bit chronic, hasn't he? A little bit chronic.
I wasn't going to say it.
But he's very sensitive, so I don't want to get him upset. Across the street, hello.
Hello.
What does that mean?
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, I'm here. Who is this?
Who are you calling, sir?
Neil.
Why do we have such a series of, like, misfits?
I'm calling Neil. I've been on
Well,
for an
you're
hour.
speaking to him, sir, right now.
Neil.
Yeah.
I'm Neely from way back.
Great.
And I called to comment on the almost 2 weeks that Prime Minister Glenn Hill was on in place of the King.
Yeah.
And he was cool and fantastic, but I got one small comment.
Well, we don't want to hear it. I'm so sick of this, man. I told you before I went away, I put up with a little bit of this crap when I, sat down here because I got a frog in my throat and I'm recovering from Rome, which was a nightmare. But, enough is enough. Why don't you people grow up? How you doing, Jarrett? Did you get anything to eat? What does that mean? I don't See, that's the problem. We got these people spoiled. If they get something, fine. If not, they don't really care. It's not like it was in the beginning when it was a big deal and they used to get all excited. Now it's like, we got stuff coming every day this week. What did I do with that list? Tomorrow we got what?
I don't know.
Oh, Arnold's.
Oh.
Little cheeseburgers tomorrow.
Right.
And Pizza Loft on Wednesday. And the Spiced Apple, which is a new sponsor on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of Alan Burt's old sponsors, Spiced Apple.
I remember.
It's supposed to be a great place. I've never eaten there, but
I haven't either.
We'll have a chance Thursday. And Wings Plus on Friday, which goes without saying.
Yeah.
Okay, it's 12:19, and it's nice to see that Fat Rich is really concentrating on that low-fat, no-cholesterol yogurt, isn't he? Now, there's a thing right there with that's it. Fork, spoon, we got the whole works there for you, okay? Now, what's the story with Todd? He was here. Is he finished? He's out?
I think he's still here.
He's still here. Well, Nick what is the story, Nick? Nick said Todd is history. And the next thing I look up and he was in there. If Dorothy brooms Todd out of here, boy, we're going to have a real brawl in this place. I'll tell you that right now. You know what I'm saying, Dorothy? We'll put all our garbage in your newsroom. And I don't even mean in the wastebasket, just in the middle of the room. Margate. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Neil?
Yeah.
How you doing?
Okay, how you doing?
Okay, this is Nick from Margate.
How you doing, Nick?
Okay, how you doing?
Wait a minute, it said Todd's on probation. What does that mean? What did he do? He killed one of the news people? Well, we had too many of them anyway. Don't worry about it. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead, Nick.
I just wanted to say, you guys are always talking about, going out to lunch for Wings Plus and all that.
Yeah.
I wanted to recommend a place. I'm over here in North Lauderdale, Margate area.
Uh-huh.
And we have a place over here called Roosters.
Roosters?
I don't know if you ever heard of them.
What is it, another wings place?
Yeah, they have really good wings.
Oh, in other words, it's a competitor for one of my sponsors, and you want to give them a free plug, Nick?
Yeah.
Is that what you're trying to say? Is that what you're trying to do, Nick? That's all right. It's not going to get me upset.
I wanted to know,
You want to get me upset, Nick? Do you?
I recommend you to try them.
Okay.
And they're over here on
Yeah, why don't we give the address and give the phone number? What's their number for takeout? Get out of here, Nick. You make me sick. 21 past noon at WIOD. And Rich is cleaning everything up. Boy, he looks pretty good, doesn't he? Doesn't look like he weighs a pound over, I won't say it. Miami, hello.
Neil.
Yeah.
How's it hanging?
How you doing, pal?
Good, and you?
Okay. Great, what? 27 past noon at WIOD. Steve is in here, who doesn't listen to the show, by the way.
Now, that's the first thing I wanted to discuss. I heard that coming in. Where did you get the idea?
Because while I was doing the show, we would...
Well, while you were doing it, he wasn't.
Oh, okay. Let me correct
now
that.
you spoiled the whole thing. Go ahead.
That's the fact.
Go ahead.
Well, just things would come up, and stuff about you, or we talked about the new Spike Lee movie, and then I would hear you driving home.
Oh, wait a minute. If he didn't listen to the show, how could he hear Stan ripping him so he would rip Stan back?
that was while I was out of town. I needed a whole bunch of listeners to call in and tell me about that they said the bird let go on endlessly. Well,
I don't remember that. I don't remember that. I did that.
I have a
Stan ripped everybody,
Got it, baby.
Yeah.
You got it.
How do you like that? He's getting $1 million a year, according to him.
Now,
no chance.
I spoke to Saul.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't sleep when I heard that. I had to call Chicago.
It's not true.
No way. Not even vaguely.
Morning Drive was paying $500,000. Okay.
I mean, divide that figure by about
3
20.
or 4.
Yeah. No, it's a fraction. Fraction. Anyway, getting back. So, what makes you think I don't listen to Neil?
Oh, I didn't say Neil. Oh, well, I'm doing
the show.
Well, I figured.
Am I not part of the show anymore? He is getting a swelled head, you know it?
No, it's just
out of control.
A lot of things we would talk about, and then you would come on at 2 o'clock and make no,
reference.
Obviously, you didn't hear it. Like a lot of it, we talked about the Spike Lee thing at length.
Did you like the Spike Lee movie?
I've not seen it yet. I just saw Do the Right Thing. I just saw School Days.
By the way, there's a movie on Viewer's Choice.
Yeah.
What the hell is the name of it about?
What's it about?
They're out in the snow, and this guy is in love with this young girl, and she's plotting with some guy to kill him. It's the strangest. You must have seen it. And they all wind up dying in the end. Yeah, it's on Viewer's Choice.
You never get a title with him.
Oh. Yeah. Who's in it?
Nobody of any note.
Doesn't ring a bell.
And the husband is plotting to kill this guy, and they're going to collect the insurance policy.
Doesn't ring a bell.
And in the end, the guy he sees the guy, they try to blow him up. He plunges the dynamite and he blows
Well, all
up.
I know is that now I don't have to see it.
No,
but
it's
anyway,
incredible.
To finish
incredible.
what I
It's
was
so
saying.
bizarre.
But I mean, you got on here and you said that I don't listen to Neil.
Because, so I said to the show,
Does
but because
anybody know
you
the
would
name of that
always
movie?
be talking about Sandy said this and Sandy said that and Sandy had this on.
Well, I will confess that.
He's talking about the receptionist.
I think you're obsessed.
No,
with
I will confess that in Neil's absence, I didn't listen as much as I usually do. When
Well,
Neil's here, I never
who
missed
did?
a thing with Neil. But anyway, I have. Now, did they tell you that I had the whole story on the change on the WNWS lineup on Friday before it was announced on WNWS?
I did hear that Friday.
I have now the rest.
How about the FTL?
That I had very well, as you know. Our attorney is the cornerstone.
I already blamed you on the air for this, and I'm going to blame you to your face.
You're right.
But man, how long is that going to last?
You're right. I don't know.
He's not. He's a wonderful attorney. He's a nice guy. He's a little confused with his baseball thing there. With his what is it?
Do you know he just opened a baseball card store on top of it?
And he opened that up. When is he going to have time to be an attorney?
That's what I asked him. When are you going to have time to handle? And most of his practice is working on you and me. You're right.
11 o'clock at night till 3 in the morning with FTL signal at night. You're going to have to stay up and call him and do different voices. He isn't going to get any calls.
But it's practice.
For what?
He's
not a
he
talk
wants
host,
someday,
okay?
you know.
Oh, jeez, come on, Norm, get a life, will you please? Grow up already. Cut the crap.
Now,
You're not a talk show host.
It is a fact, Steve. I've heard you tell many people you should get in. You should do this. I've heard you say that to many guests. You should do this
for a living.
Talk.
And then that Roy Masters comes in.
Oh, Roy's the best.
He stands in that studio, looking in here, and I'm making all kinds of cracks.
He wants to get at you. I mean, he wants to.
Yeah, I noticed. That's why I wore a jockstrap to work today. He hasn't done it with anybody in so long. He wants to get at anybody.
Well, I don't know. That's what he had in mind, but I mean, he definitely wants to confront you.
He made us give him some food.
We have had to hold him downstairs with armed guards. He keeps saying, "I want a piece of Neil. I want to get it, Neil. I
got a piece for him."
He wants to attack you.
Great.
But anyway, now you want the rest. I got so much great stuff today. I don't know where to begin. I mean, the rest of the story of the lineup switch, the inside story from inside the building.
Yes.
Well, it seems that.
Now, I hope this is better than most of your inside information.
Hey, I predicted the whole change before Dennis Collins went on the air. I was driving home. Listen to this. I'm driving home on Friday.
Isn't this the guy who told us about going satellite and about how they were going to simulcast Channel 7 in the morning?
Well, so that
was close.
Now they're simulcasting 10. They just switched stations on me. You know, seven wised up.
I still love Juan Cotto's line. It says, Al Randel, who hosts a hard afternoon program.
In quotes. Isn't that in quotes the word hard?
That we don't?
Maybe. You could never tell. Don't say that, because, Juan comes from the macho kind of Hispanic background. He'll get very angry at that.
No, he won't, but his family will get uptight.
Anyway,
he'll take away his pink slippers.
So I'm driving home from the station on Friday, trying to figure out what the changes might be, and I get out of my car at this mobile station to put gas in the car, which takes, 3 minutes, and I get back in the car, and Dennis Collins is on the air saying, well, that's it. That's the exciting new thing. He was on with somebody from Channel 10, and he said, I know Debbie's got a dynamite show planned, so we are not going to take calls on these changes. And then this was the touching part. Debbie gets on the air, and she says, well, she says, I guess that's it. She says, now you heard Dennis. I mean, we will not take any calls on these lineup changes, and don't attack me. I have nothing to do with it. She was like disassociating herself from the whole thing. Yeah, she said, these are not my decisions. I'm not in management. Don't get angry. And I was trying to figure out what the hell it was. So I raced home and I called my 2 contacts that I have within the building, and I found out the new change. This is the interesting part. Sandy, now this is the Emmis. Sandy had been lobbying Dennis Collins very hard. She wanted the morning drive slot.
Oh, yeah. Can you imagine?
Not that
you never wake up.
Yeah,
you never get out of bed.
Not that I figure she thought she'd do that much better against Ranieri, but I think she just wanted to get it over with and then have the rest of the day clear. But she was lobbying there all the time in meetings, and she was really pushing for it. And when she
was pushing for it?
Yeah. She wanted it.
You mean figuratively?
Both. She was.
Both what?
I don't know. She was that too. Whatever. I don't know. She really wanted it. Anyway, she really wanted it, and when she didn't get it, she was in a rage. She was outraged at the new lineup, and told a friend, not only is she outraged, but she's so disgusted with the station now, to put it in her words, she's just going to come in, do the show in the afternoon, and leave. You've been in that head before, haven't you?
Yeah.
You know, where you're just so disgusted. She said, that's it, I'm just washing my hands, it's a mess, I'm just going to come in. So I think...
Well, like, what is she doing now?
She's trying now.
Trying what?
I mean, she's
down to like a 2 or something.
She was full of enthusiasm until this changed.
Or would she have a 1 something?
She was full of excitement. But now the excitement will be gone, I guess. She's just not going to... She's disgusted.
Isn't it true, Steve, that Al is like a night person, like a late night, like a night owl?
He owns a bar in the middle of the night. He stays there till the wee hours with his leather jacket, from what I'm told.
Really?
Yes, with an oil...
Just his leather jacket?
With an oil chest, from what I've heard. These are just rumors that get to
now,
me.
You don't want to be getting another one of these letters, do you?
What's that? Another one?
Oh, this is
you can't get that.
Huh?
You're not allowed to. Is that what I think it is?
This is a Mike Thompson letter.
For you?
Yeah.
For you?
Oh, absolutely.
But I thought
about how I said all these things. Now, didn't I hear him say, or didn't I say on the air that I thought I heard him say on that famous show that day that he was divorced last November?
That's what you
I
said.
thought I heard him say.
No, well, that's what you said, yeah.
And I said it could have been wrong, but I thought that's what he said, that he had a girlfriend. And here's a letter about how they want a retraction.
Is it a letter from Mike?
No, it's a letter from one of his attorneys, one of his many attorneys. And I said that he was uncontrollably homophobic.
They're not going to. They can't sue you for that.
Well, no, because it's
Isn't truth a
documented.
defense?
Exactly. But it's amazing how every time you mention his name, we get another one of these letters.
Well, I've decided I'm so disgusted. I'm never mentioning his name
it's incredible.
again. I'm just going to refer.
Like some of these people who think they're like in a special little class over there. Nobody can mention them. They're like in an ivory tower.
But anyway, that's the bottom line of this is that if destroying radio stations and careers, because Al now is, he was nowhere. Now it's like, it's like being banished to Siberia.
In the morning, he will never come close to a 2. He'll never come close to a 2.
It's pathetic, but the word is that if destroying careers and radio stations was a capital crime, Dennis Collins would be the Ted Bundy of the radio industry.
Like
that is sort of the feeling around the business.
Well, it seems that after 2 years of telling everybody about the show...
Well, I don't know if you heard me.
Okay, 12:39 at WIOD.
I don't want to go through all that again. But if you heard the thing on Friday, that was the real story.
I didn't hear that.
That was the real
I didn't hear that part.
So what's this about you and Stan?
I wasn't going to talk about this.
Well, what's it all about? I wasn't here.
Evidently in my absence, he was ranting on and on again about being the number one, and he was beating me. He was the highest rated. And I've been listening to this crap for the longest time, and I just got on the air.
Well, why is it crap?
I will tell you, okay? I know I can't get uninterrupted airtime, but you can punctuate my little story with clever remarks.
I'll listen.
Well, I got very ticked off on Friday, and I was glad because it gave me a chance to set the record straight. The facts of Mr. Major's higher ratings were that I had been off the air for 3 months. He had come on in my absence with you as a lead-in. You are a fabulous lead-in when you don't try to be, like with me. But with Stan, now wait a minute.
How many times a day do we promote this?
I knew I was.
Show,
No,
okay?
wait a minute.
How much promotion do we give this?
Can I explain?
Okay? Even on embarrassing days like today, when he's got Roy Masters and Bob Kuntz for the 400th time this month.
They have never faced each other. I've never had Masters live.
Oh, he's going to be
live
in the same room.
Yes. Yes.
Now, can Bob kind of like move his chair up real close and get his knee up against Roy's knee
the possibilities,
and maybe put his hand on his leg?
Plus, Roy is now into exorcism, and I think he may exorcise the evil homosexual demons.
This thing about him not having sex with his wife for 20 years. If you look at the guy, it's so obvious why.
I haven't met him.
You haven't met him?
Not yet. No.
Oh boy,
you will.
Remember the mad professor with the white hair out in all directions? That's Roy.
You're kidding me, really?
No.
He sounds so great on the phone with that English. I love the English accent.
So does Dick Fatherly.
Dick is a friend of mine.
Yeah, so is everybody.
And Roy is no Dick Fatherly.
Where's that resume? Oh, I already gave it to Sharon. She's got Dick's resume in case you need it.
Can I finish this story?
Go ahead.
I mean, since you asked,
well, no,
maybe this will put this.
Alibying as to why Stan beat you in the
there
book.
is a
There
is
about
a
when
story.
we were on Zeta?
Are you going to permit me to finish this story? Because this will definitely sound familiar to you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I came back on, and Stan beat me healthily in the ratings in the beginning. And a couple of months went by, and towards the end of his career at WINZ, and especially after you moved, what I started to say is, You do the normal thing for me as a lead-in. With Stan, half the shows you sat in with him for 2 hours. You'd go out and socialize with him after, and that's all he would talk about on his show. You were great. You went over and above the Call of Duty in promoting his show, which is terrific.
I stayed on.
Oh, no.
Wait a minute,
Uncle.
Wait a minute.
There are people out there listening.
Show maybe a half a dozen times.
Not many.
In a month.
In all the time he was on. When Bill Calder was on at midnight, I talked about this before I went on vacation.
Right.
When Bill Calder was on at midnight, and I was doing 8 to midnight, I stayed over on his show dozens of times.
And it didn't help. Well, with Bill,
it
didn't help.
It didn't help. He had an 11-4 at night. He beat the crap out of Wichner.
Well,
See,
then
now
it
you're
did help.
attacking Calder.
No, I'm not attacking anybody. But anyway, the point is, I'm just explaining to you, do I have to tell you that you did everything in your power to turn your whole audience over to fans?
No, I did not.
All right. Then let's...
No, I didn't.
Then let's agree to disagree on that.
You got it backwards.
Let's agree to disagree on that.
You got it backwards. He did everything in his power...
To suck your audience.
Exactly.
Okay.
And basically, he played a lot of the same
Yeah,
parts.
that's exactly right. He ripped off your act, is what he did.
You said that. I mean, it happens to be true, but you said it.
Exactly. Anyway, to get back to the meat...
So did Lassiter.
To get back to the...
Look at Lassiter. He's in Chicago now making $50 million a year.
Right, sure. To get back to the meat of the story, anyway, towards the last 3 months of Stan's career, if I can bring this back into focus, every trend would come out. Stan was losing chunks of listeners, and I was gaining chunks of listeners. In fact, what I used to do is I would record, and you'll remember this, I would record both you and Stan's show the day the trends would come out. And we would take little excerpts from the ratings, and Stan would say things like...
Highly illegal.
Well,
FCC regulation.
Probably, although it didn't take that long. I think you have like 8 seconds before it gets illegal. But whatever, Stan would say things like, I don't want to talk about the book. I know the book is going. Was another dismal, and if another one after this, then I'll really start to work. And every trend we would do this till at the end, Stan and I crossed, and I beat Stan at the end, and Stan was on a steady downtrend, and mine was up. That is a fact. Stan, in fact, between the two of us, got out just in time. Just before a total collapse and disaster. And don't you remember how depressed he was the last month he was on the air? And you would get on the air and you would say, Stan, get a show. It's boring. No wonder your show is going down the drain.
I said that from the day that we were on
That's exactly right.
When I was still on Winds, I was saying that.
So this myth that Stan, went out...
Johnson crap.
I know what killed Stan's show. I know. We all know what killed Stan's show. But the fact is, he was not the king of the ratings of Afternoon Drive by the time he escaped. And that's the truth. And I'm tired of listening to Stan spout all that stuff about how he was king and he beat me. The fact is, he beat me good when I'd been off for 3 months, and then from the time I got back on the air, it was steady downhill for Stan, and he escaped before total humiliation, or barely. Maybe he didn't escape, actually, now that I think about it.
Boy, this yogurt is good.
Okay, so that just sets the record straight. You hear that, Stan? But he's welcome on my show anytime to debate the issue.
To debate what?
I don't know, whatever he wants to debate.
Why do you always invite people to debate?
Because I love,
debate
me.
what?
I love to fight.
There's nothing to debate.
You're right.
It's like this guy you got on this afternoon.
That's a different
He's a walking eunuch. What is he going to tell you? He's an expert on sex. He hasn't had it in 20 years?
Homosexuals are dirty, filthy, disgusting animals.
How does he know?
I don't know.
How does he know? It must be from personal experience.
Why don't we call him up here and you can ask him?
There were a whole bunch of them in Amsterdam, and they all seemed a lot cleaner and better looking than he is.
Why don't we invite him up? I'm willing to share the wealth here. Come on, he's sitting down.
I don't want him.
There are 3 people sitting on him downstairs. He's trying to get up here.
There's 3 people sitting on him. That's the best thing that's happened to him in years.
Let me at that Rogers.
Something exciting might happen.
He came across country in hopes of just getting his hands on you for 5 minutes.
Yeah, I'll bet. Tell him it would take a lot longer than 5 minutes.
I told him you probably would not do it and that he might have to settle for Bob Coons.
That's it.
That's it.
Anyway, it's great to have you back.
Is it?
Nothing personal. I mean, it was...
Do you know that when I was gone,
good,
I never thought about this place for 1 second? Not for 1 second?
Yeah.
Not for a minute.
I'm not like that. I call every day when I'm on vacation.
For what?
I like to stay involved in the show. I do. It's terrible. Unless I'm out of the country. I don't do it from New York.
I can't believe that.
Yeah. I like to touch base with Sharon and find out.
I called my mother to wish her a happy birthday from Rome. That's the only call I made.
By the way, I could have steered you away from Rome. Did you get robbed by gypsies?
No.
Next time, don't ever go back to Rome. I would
never go back to Rome. But the food was great. The food was tremendous.
Did you hit Venice and
No.
Florence? Oh, that's where Italy is about
No,
Venice
because I
and
got out
Florence.
of Italy in 3 days. I got out of Rome.
Rome
It's
is just-
so
I won't
hot,
even-
and they got no air conditioning, and they're all schwitzing and sweating, and they're wiping their foreheads, and they all smell.
But consider yourself lucky that you
man.
escaped the gypsies, because if you spend more than an hour walking the streets of Rome, you will get your pockets picked
No,
by gypsies.
I did a lot of walking. There was no problem.
Mm.
The only thing that was a little bizarre was having the military and
I love it.
every
I
street
knew-
corner with the machine
When you
guns.
were talking about that, it took me
And
back.
you cross the street and you think, geez, they're looking at me real strange, but they don't pay any attention.
Uzis. Everyone's got an Uzi.
Yeah.
But I bet they don't have as much crime as we do.
Probably not. Maybe that's the solution to the problem. Maybe we ought to call up your buddy, Sheriff Navarro, and suggest that in Broward. We could have brown shirts on every street corner with Uzis.
It hasn't been the same without you.
Oh, boy, I will say this. He's still just as full of it now as he was before I left. It's just incredible. Well, listen, have a wonderful show.
Oh, we will. We will.
I'm going to be listening to that, boy. And I don't, now, I don't know the man from Adam. Now, the last time, was it when he had Fatherly on, or was it Masters? One of them. It was Fatherly. He talked about me during the entire show. I don't even know the guy.
Well, I don't think it was personal. I think he was just using you as an example.
And whatever happened to his psychic readings, by the way?
Who?
Dick Fatherly.
He does psychic readings?
Or I got him confused with somebody else.
No, come on.
Who's the other guy that you had on? It's Fatherly. He used to be. Wasn't he on? Or I got him confused with the psychic who he's on with Jerry Williams, who is Gilbert Holloway.
Oh, Gilbert Holloway.
You know why I got him confused? Because they both sound the same. They both have that deep, pompous.
Don't
they sound the
compare
same.
Gilbert Holloway to Dick Fatherly.
Yeah,
That's
that same
awful.
right wing.
No, Holloway is. Don't. Oh, that's awful.
Same thing.
No, big difference. First of all, Holloway is, in my personal opinion, somewhat of a charlatan. A ripoff.
More than somewhat.
An anti-Semite. Stop me when you disagree.
No, I've already been through that.
And Dick
with him
Fatherly
before.
is none of those things.
Sure. So what about Ernie Sochen and Norm Kent back to back? That's going to be pretty heavy duty, isn't it?
They're referring to it as they're having posters made, the Kent Sochen Connection, where Ernie hands off his audience to Norm.
All two of them? Both of them?
Oh, you guys are cruel. But you want to hear an interesting thing? Remember the Sunday male bonding football club? Last year it was Steve Kane, a talk show host, and 3 friends. This year it's 4 talk show hosts. Think about it. Sideman.
Yeah, you're sure
Kent
making
and
a
Fowler.
major contribution to the industry. Okay?
I'm just training my friends to take over if I have to leave.
1249 at WIOD. What's this, Fat Rich?
Now, from the Channel 10 Eyewitness News.
I guess that's a cue, Ann. Hey, where's Ann going? What's she doing with that machine gun? Oh, my God, quick, camera to the white.
She was fed up with reading one story after another about drugs and violence. Now, she wants to right the wrongs and rewrite the news in Ann Bow, starring Ann Bishop.
Don't kill me, please. I'll see you tonight at 5, 6, and 11. Gone.
Ann Bow. She took the news into her own hands.
What are you going to do with me? When I get through with you, there won't be enough of you left to make a good toupee for Don Knowles.
Ann Bow, starring Ann Bishop. Also starring Carl Weathers as Dwight Lauderdale and Don Knotts as Don Knowles.
There's a stationary front over the Midwest.
Ann Bow, she rewrote the news. Ann Bow, coming soon.
I understand they're going to have a new billboard campaign at W Snooze. Alice in the morning and Ann Bow at night. Thank you so much, Rich. By the way, they don't call it Diet Coke. They call it Coke Light in Europe. And Pepsi, I didn't see any Diet Pepsi. Isn't that interesting? It's 12:54 at WIOD. Hollywood, hello.
Hey, Neil, great to have you back, man.
Thank you.
While you were on vacation, there was a classic call made to the bird by some blue hair. And I happened to be taping at the time, and I want you to hear it. Okay?
Let's go to North Bay Village.
Hello, is this the bird?
Are you right across the street?
Yes. I'm thankful to have this opportunity to speak to you without that Neil Rogers there.
Oh, here we go.
I want to ask you something. You sound like such a nice young man. Why do you want to be associated with a homosexual like that? Such a gay, a slimy, sleazy faggot, a lowlife? Such a subhuman douchebag? Such a gay?
That was great.
Man, I agree with every word she said.
Excellent. Thanks a lot, pal. Okay. That's Roy Masters Jr. on the phone. Yeah. Okay, pal. We'll see you in Amsterdam. 12:55 at WIOD. Isn't it interesting how he was listening when you were here and he's listening now?
Fascinating.
And he's just obsessed.
Fascinating.
Okay, put your hands back in your pockets, pal, and just calm yourself down. Boca, hello.
Hi.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Thank you, sir.
Steve says you were on Stan's show 5 to 6 times a month.
No.
Seems to me that Steve's been on your show 3 times a week.
Oh, here we go. Now, see, why don't you people grow up, okay?
All right, I'll leave it
Why
alone.
can't we?
Okay.
No, seriously. Why can't we? Oh, here comes Steve running in here. Now, you gave him encouragement.
Okay, all right.
It took a Herculean effort to get him out of here.
He
Now
wouldn't have been
running
in here.
back in here again.
He wouldn't have come in.
What are you complaining about, sir? What is your complaint, that I come in here 3 times a week?
Oh, you're back again?
Of course.
Because
I do what I can
again.
to turn my audience over to Uncle Neil.
Can I ask you a question, Steve?
Yeah, sure.
The comment you made about another talk show host?
Right.
The only reason Oprah Winfrey is a success is because she's black. Didn't you say that? That seems to me to be mighty racist, wouldn't you say?
I think the fact that she's fat's got a lot to do with it, too.
I don't recall ever saying that.
You said that, and you said that when...
No, I don't recall saying that.
Okay,
She's kind of like a black Debbie Ellis. She's a giant in the
There's no
industry.
further we can go on it,
I
right?
think she has no talent.
Sir, why don't you debate him on his show about this
I
crap?
think her
don't wanna
talent
hear
level is about
Oprah
on the same abilities you have as a caller.
I see.
And you're not even black, so get off the phone, creep. Hello?
Steve?
Get lost.
Steve,
What? Yes.
Where'd you pick
See,
up
that only works when you have the button. What?
I'm not pressing it.
Where'd you pick up that phrase, get off the phone from? Did you pick that up in New York?
Yes,
Grant.
Bob
He
Grant
stole
is
it from
a matter of
Bob
fact.
Grant, sir.
I see. And are you trying to follow in his footsteps?
I didn't steal it, I borrowed it. At this point, Bob is trying to follow in my footsteps.
Figure out why you can't match their success. Is this a big problem for you? And another thing, a little more therapy.
Yes, sir. I want to say this to you. You remind me of the guy who just called, a young guy called a couple of minutes ago, okay? The same thing. You can't turn it off, can you?
What can I turn off?
Your mouth. Your mouth. And my show. Both.
Okay.
All right?
Right.
Are you okay, sir?
Not really.
Good day.
Okay.
Wow. 12:57 at WIOD. It sure is great to be back. Oh, listen, from now until next Friday, please mention at the end of your spots that there is a brand new Nutrisystem location that just opened on Arthur Godfrey Road, Miami Beach. So I just found the memo in the midst of all this other chazarai here.
Yeah.
So I was right. It's on Miami Beach on Arthur Godfrey Road. And we mentioned it. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Tom. Let's take a call in Pompano. Hello.
I need to hold on after the break. It's not gonna... you don't have enough time this hour.
What do you mean I don't have enough time? I got 2 minutes.
Okay, you ready? Listen.
Let's go to the call on Ronnie Zamora. Hello.
No, we've already heard this before, sir. I don't want to hear Ellis Rubin again. Jeez, you people out there, you know, I think the thing with Norm Kent is emblematic of a disease that's sweeping this community. It's called talk show host-itis. All these people want to be, they're frustrated would-be talk show hosts, okay?
Yeah.
And if you listen to their call, it's obvious that their shows wouldn't last for 3 weeks. Get a life already, okay? We got a rack. How many carts have we got here? Like 500 carts?
At least.
We got all kinds of recorded material. Once in a while, once in a great while, somebody will play something. Usually, it's something related to...
They don't come any better than Hank Goldberg.
To that, okay? One of the calls on his show. And those are usually pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, give it a rest already with these recorded bits and with all this chazarai here. Give it a rest.
Isn't it wonderful to be back?
Oh, it's fantastic. Boy, what a group of calls. What a group of calls. My favorites, though, my absolute favorites are the ones, the people who've got some, they hate you, they hate me, like the homophobic idiot that called 3 calls ago, and they can quote chapter and verse every show, every minute, every single day. They wouldn't miss it if their lives depended upon it.
That's right.
So we're obviously filling a void somewhere in their lives, and I think somebody's filling a void in that kid's life somewhere else. Okay, that's going to do it for this hour. Who we got doing the news? We got it's a big 1 to 2 hour. You gave Todd the yogurt? Oh, that's good, because Todd is on probation.
Fascinating.
Well, what does that mean? Oh, you don't know about it? Oh, did I say something I wasn't supposed to say? Anyway, it's, I'm serious. That's what the message was on here. Todd is on probation. What, did you molest somebody in the newsroom or something? Is that why April's not here anymore? By the way, we should wish April good luck, shouldn't we, over at Channel 6? A lot of guys in the audience very upset about that. Very upset.
She came and said goodbye to them all while you were
did
gone.
she? That was nice.
Yeah.
Great.
We wish her the best.
And we got Chuck, what's his name? Meyer, who's a real news person in there.
Yeah,
He sounds good.
Yeah, he does. Started
Boy,
Friday.
That's incredible.
Friday was his first
That must have
day.
been a mistake, huh? Okay, look at it. We got Lee Fowler Jr. on the Palm Beach line. Hello.
Well, it's about time.
I bet you got big things on your mind, Lee.
I just got back from vacation, coincidentally. I would have gone to Europe, but I didn't know you were going there. I went to Tuag instead.
Yeah. It fits right in, Lee.
I wanted to correct you about some things you were saying earlier.
Yeah.
Those reports of Bob Lassiter going to WLS in Chicago? False. He is going to Chicago, but he's going to do nights at the top 40 station, B96, where he will replace Bubba the Love Sponge.
For $3.75 an hour.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what about Debbie and this big move to middays now, Lee?
Well, you know how Debbie got her big break in show business, don't you? It was at the Thunderbird Drive-In. They used to show movies on her butt. Seriously, I mean that sincerely. Really.
Yeah, I believe you do.
Meanwhile, over at Zeta, where the colonel is trying to get promoted to 5-star general nuisance, the rumor is that Bill Calder will jump ship from QAM and join the morning show.
Yeah.
But only if they can find a turntable that plays 78.
Oh, I'm going to hear about that.
Up here, you know, there's good news and bad news at J&O.
Yeah, what's the good news, Lee?
Well, the good news is John Picano is stepping down as PD.
And the bad news?
His replacement is Tim Williams. That's the rumor anyway. I haven't checked that out with my inside source, Dennis Reese, yet.
Yeah, he knows it all, boy, top to bottom.
Absolutely.
Well, listen, Lee, have a great life.
And big guy, keep the peace.
Okay, see ya. Is he still eating on the air?
I don't know. I can't pick the station.
Can't you? Oh, that's right. You're in Dade County. Well, if you were in Broward, you'd be lucky enough you'd be able to pick it up, boy. It's a good way to lose lunch. Speaking of lunch, 15 at WIOD, we're doing a little show here, and, well, these salespeople, they come in right in the middle of the show, and he's doing like a whole seminar. We're doing a show, Coleman. I know that you don't know what time we're on, but he thinks we're just sitting in here having lunch. He thinks this is like the waiting room, the green room, or something like that. So Todd's on probation. Boy, I'm going to have to find out what that's all about. Something really heavy duty. And what about Ross? Is he still here?
I
here tomorrow?
I didn't keep up with him.
Why not?
Not of interest.
All this crap with his bathing suit stuff. And I heard that story about the guy was standing in the other room and his girlfriend was in here and you were fondling her and she was sitting on your lap.
That's
and
true.
the guy, the steam was coming out of his ears.
Who
and he
told
was
you that?
Fat Rich told me. He said the guy was ready to bust you in the
No,
chops.
he wasn't.
He said he was mad as hell.
No, he wasn't.
He
She
all kind
came
of
and sat on my
comments.
lap.
He said he was going to turn your head into a pimple and give it one big squeeze and then be finished.
I didn't go sit on her. She came and sat on my lap.
She did. All by herself?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, now what's the story, Dorothy? Is he on probation? What is that all about?
Oh, God.
Look at that. Probation for, she said it doesn't have anything to do with the newsroom. It's an outside matter. I see. Okay, those two getting pretty chummy in there, aren't they? Miami, hello.
Neil.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Thank you so much.
Bird did a great job in your absence.
No question about it.
Nice change of pace.
Yeah.
You have a nice trip?
Great.
I'm glad.
Well, that's good.
Happy to be back?
Yeah. Up until this call, I was ecstatic.
Up until this call, well, first of all,
I mean, a tone in your voice, there's like a certain level of sarcasm there, isn't there?
Oh, no, absolutely not.
A little sarcasm in this call, sir.
No, not at all. I sustained some permanent hearing loss when Steve got on the phone.
Oh.
He talks very loud.
Yeah.
He does.
Well, he hangs out with Lee Fowler a lot. Kind of rubs off, so to speak. I don't want our guest downstairs to get the wrong idea. Roy Masters, when I said it kind of rubs off, he gets real nervous when you use an expression like that. So what's up, sir? I just have a feeling that bubbling under the surface of this call, there's something that doesn't...
Oh, no, absolutely not.
No?
No, I was just caught off guard napping.
Oh.
Well,
you want to go back on hold?
No.
Oh.
As a matter of fact, or as a point of information, how do you get on the lightning round without being kept on hold?
You just call in, and if you get a ring, you get
really?
on.
Oh, okay.
And you say hello, and hang up on you.
Oh, very difficult. You get buzzers. Oh, you repeated the Dion. Were you back in town Saturday?
Yeah.
You were?
Mm-hmm.
Did you re-listen to the Dion show?
No.
It was
No, when I'm on vacation, I don't get involved with this place.
It was a great show.
Yeah.
I mean,
too bad they didn't play the tapes in the right order.
Yeah, but I've never listened to a single radio program twice, and it was actually worth it.
Yeah, Dion is great.
No, that was a great show.
Make no mistake.
It was a great show. What about the Cubs?
Like you said,
I
until
think you're
this
right.
call.
My hearing has been affected since Steve was in here.
Yeah, up until this
Listen,
call.
they're only 3.5 games out. They're going through a little problem. It's called lack of runs.
Yeah, they're tied with the Mets.
Yeah, there you go.
And Montreal's going to take
Now,
it to
can I read you this thing out of
Well,
the...
listen, have a great day.
Take care.
Okay.
Son.
What was his story?
Man uses live squirrel as windshield wiper.
Did you get the feeling there was something under that... Well, what's wrong with that? He was using the tail. I can envision.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
The fur was flying when Eagle Eye police arrested a motorist for an unusual offense driving down the street with a live squirrel tied to his windshield wiper.
What's wrong with that?
Ashford, Massachusetts, they charged 49-year-old John Griffith with unlawful possession of a bushy-tailed rodent. He was described as a loner who lives at a local campsite. He was irate and combative when officers pulled him over. He told the cops that the squirrel always accompanied him because he was his friend.
Yeah.
Police report that the squirrel, who was tied to the wiper by an
He was
nylon
probably
cord,
enjoying it.
was frightened but not hurt by the unusual auto trip. I got to remember that.
He said it was nothing compared to how when he puts him in to watch the laundry in the dryer. 119 at WIOD. Let's take a call from these calls today. I got to be honest with you, boy. This has been a real eye opener for me. Although it is Monday, and we never gave the numbers out, and they're all filled up, which is a big deal, I guess, in this business.
I guess.
Miami, hello.
Hiya, Neil.
Yeah, how you doing, Joey?
Hey, it's been a boring 2 weeks without you, man. Even though you did a good job, it's just not the same.
I know.
Hey, I have first a request, and then I want you to confirm a rumor for me. Request, are you going to play Young Neil or Freeway and Spigot today?
No.
Okay, catch you late on that then. Somebody said that Neil is black. Is that true?
Who?
Another Neely. He says, I swear to God, Neil is black. I said, no, he's not.
Yeah.
Neil is black?
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't sound black.
Why are you talking to me and you're talking like you were talking in the first person and now you're switching in the third person? Is there a special reason for that?
No, because a good friend of mine told me that Neil is black. I said, I heard either way, he's a Nickhead.
I heard the same thing, yeah.
Not Neil, I'm sorry, Nick.
Oh, Nick. No, Nick is
black.
Nick
That's what
is
he
not,
said,
yeah.
Nick.
Well,
you're right about these calls. Wow. All right.
So glad. I should have kept telling my story about the plane trip back and about the Lebanese woman with the baby and the diapers. I should have continued on that story.
That was wonderful.
These calls just suck.
God.
21 past 1 at WIOD. Lauderhill, hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Hi, Neil. I'm so glad you're back. I can't stop laughing.
Really? I
You're
can't stop
wonderful.
crying.
You're absolutely wonderful.
You know, those days, especially in Amsterdam, I'd be sitting in my hotel room and I'd look out the window and it would be bitter cold and raining. Amsterdam is nice when the sun is shining and gets up to about 72. It never really gets hot there.
Right.
But when it's raining, it gets real dark, like up north, you know, when it rains and it gets cloudy all day and gray.
Right.
And it's bitter. And I'd sit in that hotel room and I'd look outside and I'd think, even though I can't go out walking or doing anything, it's just so nice being here and just being free. It's like a bird, you know what, if I can use that expression.
That's right.
Like total escape.
That's right.
Then I would sit back down and turn on the TV, and there would be Larry King, and then I'd think, well, maybe I'm not so free after all.
Well, now you're back to reality.
Yeah, harsh
That's
reawakening.
the way it is. I just wanted to say that Bert did an excellent job while you were gone.
Well, we're going to take a 4-hour poll on it tomorrow.
Well, listen, the last time you were gone, he wasn't so good, but this time I don't think he was as nervous. And
Yeah, last time I went, he was terrible.
Yeah, he was. That's true. Sorry, Bert. I love you, but sorry. Anyway.
Sorry about
what?
what? That you were so bad that day.
Oh, the only day that wasn't good was that bathing suit contest with Stan.
I can't believe he did that. I really can't. Because when Stan, did that on INZ, I ripped him for days. It was so bad and embarrassing. But, you know, these guys get away with murder.
It was. And I have one thing to say about Steve also. This isn't a rip. I just have one thing to say about Steve. You know, he said how you led your audience into Stan Wrong. I would never take credit for that if I were you. Stan's audience was really bad. Those were not Neely people.
Well, there was some crossover, but no question, Stan did have his own
He had his
special
own
group
floor mats.
of
Floor mats. He had those people that just, he never had a show. He never had a show. He really didn't. I'm sorry.
Well, at least he's consistent because he don't have a show now either. So there's something to be said for consistency.
I have to tell you something. When he was on that day, I had turned it on about 11:30 in the morning. I got in the car and I turned it on, and for a minute I thought it was you. It was just the way it came on and the way I happened to be listening to it.
Yeah, Stan and I sound a lot alike.
I said, Jesus, I know Neil's not back because it was yesterday and he won't be back till next week. And when he started with that business and all of a sudden I heard this about Ricky Ticky's, lingerie and bathing suits, and I knew
Ricky Ticky's lingerie?
Well,
Boy, there must be something going on I don't know about. I knew about the cat, but I didn't know about the lingerie.
Well, anyway, it's been fun.
Okay, listen, have a great day, and I'll say hi to Stan for you.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Wow.
Boy, they're just ripping the crap out of everybody today, aren't they?
Yeah.
1:24 at WIOD. I think we're going to do a little break here, and then we got the lightning round. This is basically over already.
Mm-hmm.
This is great.
Mm-hmm.
So on Friday you go on vacation, which is going to really be something.
Yeah.
Now you're just not going to show up Friday, right? You're not going to tell anybody about
That's correct. That's the best way.
Because you had a little run-in with Boy Gary, who said that you can't take that extra day.
I know.
And you said you're just going to go ahead and take it anyway, and he said, well, just don't tell anybody about it.
That's what he said. I said, well,
so we aren't going to tell anybody about it. He just won't show up on Friday, and he won't be here, okay? But whatever you do, don't tell anybody, and we'll just pretend, it's one of the, like he's sick. So I'll make up a story like you're under the weather.
How do you guys do it? All you guys take that extra day. How do you guys do it?
Because we're talent.
Oh. Well, see, they didn't tell me that.
125 at WIOD, and 128 at WIOD. Now, equal time, it may not be as exciting to the audience, although I think we got a lot of ladies out there, and would-be ladies. When you're gone next week, I'm going to have a fashion show, and we're a bathing suit show, and we'll have Todd and Ross and Jarrett all come in bathing suits.
Wouldn't surprise me. You have a wonderful time.
I would.
I'm going to be like you. I'm going to go where I can't hear the radio station. You guys just do whatever you want. Have a great time.
Excellent. We talk about the Cubs?
Yep. I won't think anything. Just like you, I won't think about the station.
Good.
I'm specifically going to go where I can't hear it.
Excellent.
And you guys, you can do anything you want.
By the way, I just want to mention the WIOD newsletter. Did I throw that out?
What newsletter?
Geez, there's a new newsletter out while I was on vacation. Here it is. And wouldn't you know, we barely get any mention. It does mention you were going to be filling in for me. And
really?
That's about the only mention this show
I didn't even get one. And see, I don't even get a copy.
But listen to this. The 610 WIOD Sports Crew presented another great show for our audience on the recent NBA Draft Night. It's Eric Camaro. Sonny Hirsch and Jim Mandich provided pick-by-pick coverage. I wonder if they mean this kind of pick. And Hank Goldberg got the crowd reaction and official comments from the Heat draft party at the Miami Arena, while Tony Yip, Marvin Rawman, and Eric Martinez provided produced the program. Keep it all. I can't even read this. I'm so tongue-tied. It's so exciting. Keeping it all sounding great was Steve Ziegler.
Goes on to the second page.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The radio at its finest.
It does mention my name. That's a first.
Now, don't forget the British cricket draft is coming up on Sunday, and we're going to have Rick Weaver in Scotland. Man, I tried watching cricket for like 5 minutes on the BBC over there. How can you watch it? It is so ridiculous. One thing I've decided about the British, the reason they lose every war, and we have to bail them out, or they lost the revolution, because they're silly.
Yeah.
They're like silly people.
Very silly.
In fact, in Amsterdam, there are people from all over the world there. It's incredible. And the only people that were really rowdy and loud and obnoxious everywhere you went were the British kids.
Really?
Drunk, loud, obnoxious, disgusting. All of them. I mean, they were just disgusting. Out in the streets, in restaurants, everywhere you went, they were the only ones who were just out of control. And when you stop and think, I bet you that Roy Masters would probably have some comments on this. No, seriously, in a country where they worship a queen, I'm telling you, it's just a little peculiar, okay? And I won't say all, but most of the British men are like Faye, like Faye Wayne or Faye Dunaway. They're all a little Faye. In fact, even the Dutch guys on the plane coming back, there was this Dutch family, husband and wife, and the two snotty little girls I was talking about. And the wife was so butch, man, she looked like she could put you through the floor with her foot.
Jeez.
And the husband looked just like, what's the Queen's husband? What is his name? Prince Philip?
Prince Philip.
Is that his name? He looked just like him. And that same kind of very wimpy, ineffectual, you know what I mean?
They've always been that way, don't you think?
Yeah.
They've always been that way.
Very strange.
If you look at old British movies, 30s, 40s, they're all the same. You know, they are. I watched an old movie.
So maybe Roy Masters can kind of analyze that for us on the King Show. Okay, it's 1:32 at WIOD. Let's go to Dania. Hello.
Get off the creepy.
Let's go to Plantation. Hello.
Neil.
Yeah.
I'm holding for the lightning round.
What?
I'm holding for the lightning round.
Okay, hold on. Let's try Boca. Hello. Okay, good one. Yeah, I forgot about this. We're getting to that desperate time of the show.
It is that time.
My 1:37 at WID. What's unusual that Steve is talking about that topic today, isn't it? He took away abortion and homosexual this and homosexual that. Be pretty slim pickings, wouldn't it? 23 till 2 at WIOD. And let's see, West Palm. You're holding for lightning round?
No.
Oh, you're holding for us.
Yes, sir.
Great.
How you doing?
What a call.
Yeah.
Nice talking to you.
I had a radio accident last week. I was listening to Wind. And
you're the one, huh?
Yeah, I was the one. And I heard the sportscaster, I guess it was Ron Harrison, was talking about how Ron Guidry had been endured 15 managerial changes with the New York Yankees, and he said, well, it's kind of like being in a radio business, maybe at this station even. Well, and then he kind of pregnant paused and moved on, but I thought I'd like to hear something like that.
Yeah, well, he was trying, in fact, he was trying to come over here a long time ago, and just didn't work out.
Well, Bird, you did a great job last week. Don't listen to those douchebags, and Neil, I'm glad to have you back.
Thank you.
Take care.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Now, who's this on the bat line? Is that for us? Is he talking to somebody on there? It's, what? He's still talking to him. Isn't that exciting? There's somebody on the bat line. Nobody called in with the name of that movie. And you know why? Because most people don't have viewer's choice, so they don't know what I'm talking about.
Well, you give so many clues.
Well,
when you do the, you always tune in the middle.
Anybody who saw it, no, I've seen it twice.
Really?
Anybody who saw it would know what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
It's about this young guy and his girlfriend, and she's plotting. In fact, he gets involved with this, I don't know if it's her mother or this older woman, and he's involved with both of them, and both of them are plotting with this woman's husband to kill him and collect this insurance money and pretend that it's the husband who dies.
Oh, I see.
And it's all out in the snow. They're out in a shed somewhere in a shack. I don't know. And it's incredible. It's bizarre. It seems like all the movies that I see on these pay-per-view channels are all really strange, weird. What was that one I was telling you about before I went away? Slipping into Darkness. Another bizarre movie. Miami, hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yeah.
I was up in the Panhandle all last week, and we rock stations up in Bainbridge, Georgia, and rock station in Mobile, Alabama. They're playing the crap out of that Dion album.
Great.
Got to get you the ones like one in Mobile is doing like power rotation or whatever you call it. You hear it at least once an hour.
Good.
And I was listening. I got back Saturday morning. I put your the best Neil on, and I heard the second and the fourth hour were the same tape. I couldn't believe it. They finally got Dion on. He was on the first hour, then he came back in the third.
Wait a minute. The second and the fourth hour were the same tape? Oh,
same thing.
Who have we got running the board on the weekend here, man? It's like a disaster.
I don't know.
I don't want to get anybody in trouble, but wouldn't it be nice if they gave these people a little training?
It would sure help. And I was driving through Milton, and I think I saw Captain Dave stand on the corner with a sign.
With his thumb out, yeah.
Well, yeah, a sign saying "I'll work for food." But other than that,
I still love those new billboards of theirs with the call letters on the tombstone. That's my favorite.
Yeah, I should tell you something.
Yeah.
Okay, Neil, can I hold some light around?
Sure, no problem.
Okay.